Highland Park on the road tonight. We're at Max Goldsmith Stadium. It's the Scots against Lewisville. We'll have a look at the pregame show brought to you by JSX Private Jet Perks at airline prices. Stay with us.
Determination on the field breeds determination in life. Discipline needed on the court will be the same discipline that gets the job done. That's why Tailwater Capital is a proud supporter of the Highland Park Athletic Program, the winningest athletic program in the state of Texas. 11 Lone Star Cups, 112 state championships, and a commitment to excellence that serves its players for a lifetime. From the locker room to the boardroom, Scots find a way.
We see you, early riser, paying the price, making your move. We see you because we are you. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs. As one of the few Texas banks participating in the Main Street Lending Program, Vista Bank is helping small businesses put America back to work. Isn't it time you join the over 1,500 new PPP clients and make your move to a bank that hustles as hard as you do? Vista Bank. People first.
It is the final tune-up for Highland Park before district opens just a week from tonight. They've got a tough test tonight, though. We're at Max Goldsmith Stadium here at Lewisville, where the Scots take on the Fighting Farmers, a team that comes in after a victory last week. They knocked off Naaman Forest 38-24. Knocked them off 28-6. It was the Scots with that 38-24 victory over Marcus last week. Along with Jim Castelaw and Jay Ellis, I'm Russell Scott. Let's talk a little bit about being at Max Goldsmith Stadium. First time the Scots have played here. Not the first time they played Lewisville, but it was a long time ago, the first time they played. And I don't think anybody remembers. It was 99 years ago that they played.
And yeah, nice to have the Scott 100-year anniversary of football.
Yeah, absolutely. The final score in that game was 34-0, and the Scots won that. So against schools out of the Lewisville district, Highland Park's never lost to any of these teams. But again, Lewisville's got a tough Fighting Farmers team this week. Let's talk a little bit about Highland Park. They had that win last week, and offensively they look good, especially at quarterback.
Yeah, Brennan Storr, I thought looked very good for the first game out. 20 for 29 passing, 0 picks, which is the big thing right there. 3 touchdown passes to his buddies. Luke Herring's involved. Grayson Schrank, Jackson Heiss, Bo Lilly will be involved shortly thereafter. But also I thought a tremendous job by the offensive line. Lawson Petty was 16 knockdowns in that game. I called them pancakes 100 years ago. Now they call them knockdowns. I think the record is 25, and that's, anything over 5 is great. Lawson Petty with a great start out there. But the whole offense as a whole, I thought looked very good. They answered the bell. Score was tied 24-24, and they came back, put 14 on the board to win the game.
Defense looked good last week as well. They bent, Jay, but they didn't break.
That's right. And, all 3 levels of that Highland Park defense were on their game, I thought. I know Carl Williams back at safety made a lot of plays. We saw three players at safety most of the game, including Barrett Denton and also Brady Dotrieve. Adam Rourke was his usual self. He was physical and fast. And we saw Giese over on the other side and at corner. They look good in the secondary. At linebacker, we had a lot of names, a lot of faces, and a lot of tackles. Tommy Rossley was out, but he'll be back this week. We saw Robert Ramey, of course, and Sam Webster made some great plays as well. And then we saw a couple of others, Cormac Carroll and also Jack Morse. And then up front, we had 6 or 7 guys, and 2 of them who made a lot of plays were Spencer Brown and Henry Richter.
They let Marcus get deep in their territory before they stopped him, and then they blocked the field goal attempt. So the defense looked really good last week. The one thing we have to talk about, seems like we talk about this in the second game of the season every year, but cramps, a big problem for the Scots last week.
And thank goodness the Scots have the depth that they did, because they needed to go 3 deep. Jay, you talked about Morris playing, Jack Morris, third string linebacker, and he saw quite a bit of playing time because cramps at other positions. I think obviously if we could give Coach Allen the remedy after all these years of seeing it on the first game, we'd be all rich men. But I think the Scots have really listened to the trainers, trying to do what they ask them to do all week long. We'll see if it helps out there tonight.
Well, that's exactly what we were going to talk about, is the team has taken steps to hopefully prevent cramps tonight.
They have, and it's interesting on this topic. Everybody has a different opinion. These kids were very concerned about cramps before last week and even 2 weeks prior, and some seem to think that maybe it's they're trying too hard with all these sports drinks and all these electrolytes, and others think, hey, it's not enough water or it's too much. But at the end of the day, we see this every year. Highland Park has 25 or 30% of the kids suffering with cramps in the first week, and by week 2, somehow they get used to it. And I think a lot of it has to do with adrenaline. It also has to do with just recognizing how serious that risk is. And once it's happened to you once, you're going to be really cautious. And so I don't expect to see it as a problem for the Scots tonight.
A lot to get to on our pregame show, including talking a little bit about Lewisville. This is a team that went and won the state championship in 1996. Their quarterback, a guy named Michael Odell, who is now their head coach, entering his 6th season. Had a chance to catch up with him and talk to him a little bit about last week's win and just his general thoughts on this year's Fighting Farmers team.
The kids are excited, and they want to be their best version of themselves and keep this thing going. And that's a huge task and a huge challenge, again, playing in this area with the people that are on our schedule. It's a huge task. Everybody's well coached. Everybody's got good kids, and you have to outwork and execute people on the field, and with great preparation and great resiliency to respond to adversity. Those are things that are always coming out of our mouths.
A nice win to open the season last week. What'd you think about that? It looks like you got some good play out of your offense and defense.
Yeah, there was a lot of mistakes on both sides. It was a sloppy game, but our kids played hard. That's what we're looking for. We had a lot of high-effort plays. We had a lot of kids playing their first varsity games that had some big eyes, but the game slowed down a little bit in the second half, and to get out of there with a win against a dang good team and a well-coached team. We're excited about that, but we're focused on the details. We're trying to get better with each rep and each step of the way, and we know that we've got a long way to go, but we did take a step in that direction.
As you look at your offense this year, just tell me about what you're expecting from them and who your big contributors are going to be.
We've got to win up front, and we think we've got a really good group to do that, but we have to win the line of scrimmage and establish the running game so we can get the ball down the field and get it to our playmakers. We have a handful of running backs that are gonna take carries. With Damian departing last year, who really took the bulk of the carries the last 3 years. But we do have some good players there. Byron Ellison, Xavier Lewis, and Philip Patterson will all get touches. Our quarterback is returning, so we feel good about the command there with the big O-line, and we have some skill guys outside that can make plays. Lamar Kirby is one that's really stood out and had a great off season, and we're just excited to get this thing rolling. And it's an execution thing. It's not a home run thing. We've got to get first downs. We've got to stay within the chains, and those will lead to touchdowns.
Over on defense, just your kind of overview of that.
Defense, only 4 returning starters, so we got a lot of guys playing in their first varsity football game, but the speed is the thing that sticks out to me. I feel like it's the fastest defense we've put on the field since we've been here. But again, you got to win up front, or that speed's kind of neutralized. But we're excited just with our tenacity and speed and high energy that we can play with on that side of the ball, and hopefully that can lead to some turnovers, But we're excited about the group, but it's a group that will get better with every game. that they're gonna need reps and games and practice time, and hopefully they will start clicking here sooner than later with being an elite defense. Right now we're pretty good, but we're looking to be elite.
Michael Odell, the head coach of the Lewisville Fighting Farmers, entering his 6th season as the head coach here. Over on the other side, Randy Allen, of course, the head coach of the Highland Park Scots, and a win tonight will tie him with G.A. Moore for most wins all time, number 2 on that all-time win list in the state of Texas, behind only Phil Danaher. Had a chance to catch up with Coach Allen and talk to him a little bit about last week's win and his thoughts on the Fighting Farmers.
I like the fact that we played with great effort and that we didn't make any turnovers. We played great in the kicking game, and usually your snapper and punter and holder and kickers have an adjustment period early in the season, but we were excellent. And defensively, I think we held up fairly well. Our goal was to go into the game and stop 6-3, and we did a pretty good job of that. I mean, they're great football players, and they made a few plays. But defense had to have a stop. They came up with it, and I was proud of their progress. We only have 2 starters coming back, so it was great to get those guys who had shoulder surgery and an off-season back, and Robert Remy, our leading tackler, Sam Webster. We missed Tommy Rossley, which we'll get him back this week. But William White and Charlie Barton, we played so many defensive players. I can't begin to mention all their names because we had some issues with heat cramps, but we played 50 players, and they all played extremely well, especially the guys on defense that went in. So I was pleased with that. Our offense, I was pleased with everything except our 4th downs and 1. Our short yardage offense was not efficient. So we've worked some on that this week, and we hope that we're better in short yardage situations. But other than that, we moved the ball all night long for the most part, and we caught passes that we could catch. And we were I thought Brennan Storr had his best game, or one of his best games. I thought Jay Cox, I don't know if the first guy ever tackled him. It seemed like he broke the first tackle every time he carried the ball. Then we had great distribution with our receivers. Luke Herring had a touchdown. Jackson Heiss and Grayson Schrank had touchdowns. And we didn't get Boas involved. Bo had 1 catch. We need to get Bo involved more and give him more touches. But everything we threw that was catchable, we caught. And our running game got better. Our offensive linemen did a good job protecting, and I think those 2 defensive ends are the best pass rushers we've played in a while. They were 6'3", 240, and they could run. And so I think it was great practice for our guys to get used to, and that's hard to be an offensive tackle on the edge and have that big, strong, fast rusher going to the, rushing, and you got that responsibility. But I thought our offensive line, led by Lawson Petty, and did a fine job. I thought Robert Sweeney came back from his knee injury and looked good. And then we had, of course, Andrew Morolis, our center, kind of holds it together. And then our 2 guards, Jake Watts and Whit Basso, played well.
You had, as you said, took on a really good defensive line. This week, your defense is going to face a huge offensive line. They've got 2 or 3 300-pounders up there. What are you expecting from Lewisville this week?
I'm expecting them to run the ball a lot. I'm expecting them to play ball control, and we think we'll get fewer possessions. Marcus had success when they lined up and ran the ball on us. One of the reasons they had success running the ball is we were trying to stop the pass, so we had a lot more defensive players outside to stop the receivers. But this week, we'll be more of a one-on-one kind of situation on the outside and stacking the box to put a few more linebackers in the box so we can handle the running game. But I'm worried about those big linemen holding us. Our defensive line, and then whether we can get off the blocks and make the plays. And these guys are fast and strong, and it's a talented football team. I'm I shouldn't be surprised, but we've never played Lewisville teams. But these two teams, Marcus and Lewisville, are the very best of that district, and they're a load. They've got talent, they got speed, and they're well coached. So it's going to be another fourth quarter ball game.
Head coach Randy Allen right there with his thoughts on tonight's game against Lewisville. It's going to be a dandy. The Farmers 1-0, the Scots 1-0. Our pregame show being brought to you by JSX Private Jet Perks at airline prices. Stand by. We get our player scouting report, and we'll go through some of the highlights from last week's Highland Park win right after this timeout.
When I think Lexus, I automatically think Sewell.
When I look at a license plate that says just Lexus, I'm like, oh, that's good for you. When I see a Sewell on it, I'm like, you know what I know.
I show up and I have my crew with me. They acknowledge me and they acknowledge my children, maybe give them a high five.
You get more than you expect. You get the wow factor at Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and L-certified Lexus vehicles at Sewell Lexus.
With almost 100 offices across the state of Texas and 50 of them in the DFW area alone, Capital Title is here to serve you. Made by Texans, for Texans. Capital Title is the largest independent title company in the United States. We are Dallas-born, Dallas-based, and family-owned. We support the Highland Park Scots.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. The best offense is a good defense. Baker Brothers block those surges before they get taken to the house.
That play was electric.
That's right, Jimmy.
Shocking, even?
We get it, Jimmy.
Call now to get this month's electric special.
Discover crowd-free flying on roomy 30-seat jets. JSX, our pregame sponsor for Highland Park football. Scots had a nice win last week. Let's go straight to the highlights and let you see what that victory looked like over Marcus.
This week's highlights are brought to you by The Rustic. Enjoy home-style meals made with farm-to-table ingredients. Go Scots!
Stop me how? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, let's go, let's go. I can't lose, I can't lose. Came up from the bottom, I'm on top. Everything I want, I got. Can't lose, I can't lose. I've been putting work in round the clock. Now all my dreams are coming true. Can't lose, I can't lose. I'm a legend in the making. Now I'm making power moves. I can't lose.
I'll tell you what, that last touchdown to Jay Cox across the middle had to be the play of the game. That's the one that really kind of separated the Scots and put them in front to finish off the Marauders.
And that's the one we all remember Paxton Alexander running over at AT&T Stadium. And interestingly enough, Jay Cox said, my hero was Paxton Alexander, and he ran that route for the Scots back then. Jay running it now.
Well, the Scots have another tough test tonight. They've got the Lewisville Fighting Farmers, and when you look at the Fighting Farmers, I think one of the first things that jumps out at you is that offensive line. We caught up with 3 of the Highland Park players to get their thoughts on what they're going to have to do to be successful. We spoke with Henry Richter, Whit Basso, and Spencer Brown.
Give us your lowdown on the Lewisville offensive line.
Well, if we start at left tackle, it's a big dude, probably the biggest dude I'll go against this year. He's like 6'8".
Six eight.
Yeah, 6'8", well over 300 pounds. And they like to run the ball. So it's just going to kind of be a gritty game. It's going to be getting down in the dirt and just fighting for every little inch. And they also have a really fast quarterback, so it's going to be a job to contain him.
So Henry, does that obviously a totally different deal almost than last week, where you got a 6'5" quarterback who can sling the ball around, and now it's a matter of they just want to jam it down your throat. Is that a fair assessment?
Exactly. And then they have a quarterback that can totally run outside and be to the edge. So you kind of got to take that balance of getting inside and holding down the fort and the running in the box, and then also being ready to go and chase after a very fast quarterback.
So you guys, I bet on the defensive line are probably looking really forward to this, because it's kind of like man on man. Let's see who can do what.
Oh yeah, it's just mentality. That's what this game is going to be about. It's just going to be about, we're just going to get in there and we're just going to push you back, and there's nothing you can do about it. And hopefully we stop them.
And does it make it even more fun when you're going against guys that are that big, just to show what you can do, no matter how big the offensive line is?
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's definitely fun to prove yourself against the bigger guy.
Right. It's always fun to see. We're standpoint, what can you tell us about the Lewisville defense and what they run?
So the defensive line we'll be facing this week against Lewisville is the opposite of what the offensive line is. This week they're going to be kind of smaller than last week, but they'll definitely be quicker. Yep. They run a lot of stunts. They have a lot of linebacker walkdowns, and they'll actually run some corner blitzes too. So it's definitely going to be a speed game versus a size game, which I think we'll be able to handle, because last week they were average 250, 260. This week it's more 210, 220, but they definitely have the speed. So it's going to be an interesting game.
So is it a three-man front or 3-3 stack or something similar?
So yes, sir. They do an odd front. So they do a 3-man down, 2 back, 2 outside backers, but they'll also run some odd stacks sometimes, and then maybe switch it to nickel every once in a while, but not that often.
Right. And do you anticipate is it going to be chippy? Is it going to be?
It's going to be, yes, sir. It's going to be. We're gonna have to stay on our feet. So they're gonna be coming quick at us. So I think it's gonna be interesting, because we're gonna have reaction times and have to be on point, because the twists they make, they're fast, and they do a lot of different blitzes that they'll definitely keep us on our toes. So it's gonna be exciting.
Do you guys talk about from an offensive standpoint anyway, keeping your composure and not letting teams? I'm sure, because normally what teams do when they're not as good, they try to get in your head somehow. They try to get you out of your game. You all talk about that?
Absolutely. And that's what Coach Allen emphasizes that too. And so do Coach Wells and Coach Farnsley, is the teams that aren't as good as you will try to get you in the mental game. They'll try to be chippy with you, get you with some flags. But that's a good thing that I think us as an offensive line do a good job of holding each other accountable. If we start getting chippy with a guy, we definitely talk to each other in the huddle. Like, all right, we got to calm down.
Henry Richter, Spencer Brown, and Whit Basso giving us their thoughts on what it's going to take to beat the Fighting Farmers tonight. Let's works better when I turn the microphone on. I'm learning all this TV stuff right now. Whit Basso, Spencer Brown, and Henry Richter, they're telling us what they think the Scots need to do to be successful tonight. Let's go ahead and get our Cast-a-Law key to the game for tonight.
Well, I think a lot of it comes down to the defensive front. Obviously, when you go against an offensive line that averages close to 300 pounds across the board, 6'8", 320, 6'1", 290, 6'2", 310, lots of D1 offers. It's all going to come down to, can those guys up front hold their own and not get knocked back? They can't get knocked back in the linebackers. So the 6 guys that are rotating through, they're going to have to do their job and hold their ground, let the linebackers run and make plays. I think the offense is going to score points, but they're going to have to be efficient and score every chance they get, because Lewisville is going to try to control the ball.
Well, that's our Cast-a-Law key to the game. Now it's time for our Ellis. He only has a fob, so it's going to be our fob of the game.
The fob of the game. It's going to sound a little bit like what Jim said here. The key is to be physical, and the way Highland Park does that is, one, we have to be the guys initiating contact. that means violent hands. And I know those coaches for the Scots like to talk about be violent with your hands. But the other piece is pursuit, because when you've got a big line pushing on you like that, and when you've got a great running game you've got to defend against, it's not always the first defender at the point of attack. It's the second and the third and the fourth. And we all remember last year what an amazing job Jack Curtis did, and it was often making tackles on the other side of the field on plays that you wouldn't expect. And all 11 players, of course, running through their keys, have to be full speed until the whistle and get there and gang tackle. And Highland Park did a good job of it last week, and I'd expect more of the same.
Well, you know, the offense for Highland Park did a nice job of not going down on first contact, especially Jay Cox did a great job of that last week as well. We're just minutes away from this one kicking off. We're at Max Goldsmith Stadium here in Lewisville. Highland Park and Lewisville have played one other time. It was 99 years ago. The Scots won that game 34-0. Can they repeat tonight? We're just about ready to kick it off. So invite you to stand by, and we'll be ready with the kickoff after we take this final timeout.
The customer service is really unparalleled. I've never seen anything like it with any other company.
The emblem, it just says a lot. It means, hey, I bought from Sewell.
They listened to what I had to say and actually cared about my experience.
Every once in a while, you want to be spoiled, and Sewell does that.
It's not just a transaction. That's the thing about Sewell.
I will always drive a Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Attention Highland Park Scots and SMU fans, football is back at Highlander and on the Hilltop. And so is your favorite neighborhood burger joint, Goff's Hamburgers. It's the same burgers, same fries, hot dogs, and chicken you loved as a kid, but now in a brand new location. Goff's is now on Mockingbird between SMU and Central Expressway. Drop in for that unmistakable charcoal grill taste. Host a private party in the back room, or hang out and enjoy the Highland Park and SMU memories hanging on the walls. Goff's Hamburgers, proud supporter of the Highland Park Scots.
We live in a country that's been forged from all walks of life. The values of the American cowboy and the coat of the West have stood the test of time. They're ingrained into who we are and who we strive to be. Cavenders, this is how we live.
When I think Lexus, I automatically think Sewell.
When I look at a license plate that says just Lexus, I'm like, oh, that's good for you. When I see a Sewell on it, I'm like, you know what I know.
I show up and I have my crew with me. They acknowledge me and they acknowledge my children, maybe give them a high five.
You get more than you expect. You get the wow factor at Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and L-certified Lexus vehicles at Sewell Lexus.
Conveniently located between Lovers Lane and University Boulevard on Preston Road. Not Just Soccer is locally owned and has served the Highland Park community for youth sports equipment needs since 1989. Whether you're looking for soccer, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, or lacrosse equipment, they carry it all, and they take pride with specialists in each sport, and in many circumstances, you'll be helped by a current Highland Park athlete. Go Scots!
had a service culture. And I don't think there's anybody in our company that believes otherwise. Everybody understands that our mission is to take care of families.
And I think what makes me the most proud is how many families and lives we have actually touched. We've been so impactful for so many people, and in different ways of their lives, in ways we couldn't necessarily anticipate.
Stafford was under pressure, rolled to the left, threw 43 yards into the end zone for a prayer, and Highland Park comes down with the touchdown. Offside kick to come. Pass recovered by Highland Park. Across the middle of Snowstead. Touchdown, Highland Park. The game is over. Highland Park has won the state championship.
The customer service is really unparalleled. I've never seen anything like it with any other company.
The emblem, it just says a lot. It means, hey, I bought from Sewell.
They listened to what I had to say and actually cared about my experience.
Every once in a while, you want to be spoiled, and Sewell does that.
It's not just a transaction. That's the thing about Sewell.
I will always drive a Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Determination on the field breeds determination in life. Discipline needed on the court will be the same discipline that gets the job done. That's why Tailwater Capital is a proud supporter of the Highland Park Athletic Program, the winningest athletic program in the state of Texas. 11 Lone Star Cups, 112 state championships, and a commitment to excellence that serves its players for a lifetime. From the locker room to the boardroom, Scots find a way.
In the end, it's not the politician that builds this country. It's the entrepreneur, carrying the world's largest economy on their shoulders, putting Americans back to work. Really, they're the only ones who ever could. We've always been the entrepreneur's bank for the century behind and the century ahead. Vista Bank. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912.
With almost 100 offices across the state of Texas and 50 of them in the DFW area alone, Capital Title is here to serve you. Made by Texans, for Texans. Capital Title is the largest independent title company in the United States. We are Dallas-born, Dallas-based, and family-owned. We support the Highland Park Scots.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. Team Baker Brothers scored a big one with its touchdown tune-up.
That unit sure has some cool moves.
I'll admit it, Jimmy. That's one super shuffle.
Free smart home thermostat with a new Lennox AC system.
Highland Park is played here at Max Goldsmith Stadium. They've got a tough test tonight. It's the Lewisville Fighting Farmers and your Highland Park Scots. Kickoff coming up next.
I'm a link in the chain. I am a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I'm 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 a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I'm 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 a link in the chain.
When you play one of us, you play all of us.
Presented by Inwood National Bank.
The National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning.
Can you feel that? Yeah! It's time to bring the make the ground shake when we come. Come on! Touchdown, Jake Cox! Come on! He's got it! Touchdown, Highland Park! Let's go! Let's go! Yeah, we gon' rain and we gon' shine when it's go time. Go, go, go time! We gon' push it to the limit like
1923, the first year that Highland Park played varsity football, and one of the teams that they played that year were the Lewisville Fighting Farmers. Scots won that game 34-0, and that's the only time they have met. Scots tonight making their first appearance here at Max Goldsmith Stadium. Scots come in 1-1, and the Fighting Farmers come in 1-1 as well. We're about to have the coin toss down at the center of the field, and of course we've been watching the weather throughout the day. Heavy rain earlier today, but tell you what, things have cleared up, and it looks like it's going to be a great night for football. The forecast is calling for a very humid night tonight, and our weather update brought to you by New York Subs and Peggy Sue's. Let's talk a little bit about it real quick as they have the coin toss right there. It looks like.
Let's see who's who.
Let me just get your quick keys to the game, because in my opinion, it's going to be Highland Park's defense against that huge offensive line for the Fighting Farmers.
Well, don't discount the Highland Park offense by any means, but the strength of the Fighting Farmers is their offensive line. They graduated a bunch of skill players last year, but their offensive line is coming back. They average close to 300 pounds across the front. If you take out their right tackle, who is a small, if you will, 6'4", 240, but everybody else is at 300 pounds or hovering close to it. So they're going to try to jam the ball down people's throats, including the Scots. So a lot of this is going to come down to how does the Highland Park defensive front seven handle the mammoth offensive line. And if you're here in the stadium, you see number 79 out there right now, Quay Davis, 6'8", 320 pounds. He's got 4 Division I offers. The center, Scotty Parker, number 77, 2 D1 offers, and the right guard has 3 himself. So these are quality offensive linemen. The defense is going to really have to suck it up and play well and hold their ground and allow the backers to run.
Highland Park's offense last week turned in 288 yards of total offense, 437 yards of total offense. 288 of that through the air, 149 came on the ground, and Brennan Storr 4 touchdown passes. As you see the Scots coming out, and they will take their place on the far side of the stadium as we get ready for the Scots and the Fighting Farmers to play. Interestingly enough, it'll be the 3rd week in a row that the Scots have faced a team out of 6 6A.
Right.
They had a scrimmage against Plano East. They won that game. They had a game against Marcus last week that they won. They try to make it 3 in a row tonight against Lewisville, because this is important. District starts already next week for Highland Park.
Right, this is the last tune-up. If you can call it a tune-up, I almost feel bad saying it's a tune-up. It's a lot more than that, because the Scots need to play well to catapult them in the district. It's really, you come to this stadium, and if you've been to a lot of high school football games, you think, well, I've been to every stadium around. This is my first trip ever in umpteen years of coaching and playing to see games, but I've never been here to Max Goldsmith, and this will be a great test for the Scots tonight because of what Lewisville likes to do with the ball, which is run it.
You get a great look at the Scots on the far side. They're going to be dressed in the white tops tonight, while it'll be mostly black on the other side with those black jerseys and black pants for the Lewisville Fighting Farmers. And let's pause while they play the national anthem. We'll be back with the kickoff of tonight's game coming up next. Played by the Fighting Farmer Marching Band here at Lewisville. Of course, Lewisville, one of those schools that has their football stadium right next to the high school, and they get a real hometown feel, kind of like you get at Highland Park. Not like some of the other schools where you've got 2 or 3 different high schools. This one, you just kind of feel like you're part of the community because the school is right there, and the community's right there as well,
That's
I guess.
Right. A little bit like Mesquite. Mesquite Hanby Stadium. It's a lot the same way right next to Mesquite High School.
Well, the Scots won the opening toss, so we're going to watch the Highland Park offense to open this football game. And Highland Park's offense, opening games last year was unbelievable. They scored virtually every time that they got the football to open a football game. So that's going to be key tonight. Plus, you're going to see this offense that we were really impressed with last week. And we'll give you the starting lineups coming up here in just a moment. Getting it teed up for the Fighting Farmers. They will kick it from right to left as we watch here from the press box. And Highland Park is going to send deep to do the return chores, Bo Lilly. Also back there is going to be Wilson Axley and Grayson Schrank.
Actually may have been there last week, but I don't remember him. It may be his first time back. We'll see. Was he back?
Pat Sauer is along the sideline. Jay Ellis along the sideline as well tonight. We'll check in with them throughout the evening.
All right.
Our statistician is Mike McAvee. Ivan Zuniga, our in-booth producer. And the ball is teed up, and the Fighting Farmers are ready to kick it away. Freddie Hoya puts a foot into it, and our football game's underway from Fred Goldsmith Stadium.
Fair catch.
Fair catch is going to be made down around the 3-yard line, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And here's what Highland Park's starting offense will look like tonight up on that offensive line. Lawson Petty, the big offensive tackle, 6'4", 285 pounds, and had 16 knockdowns last week, which is just amazing. Lawson Petty at left tackle. Robert Sweeney's going to be over at right tackle. Jake Watts and Whit Basso will be the guards. And in the middle is going to be Case Pickleman getting the start for Andrew Maroulis.
Maroulis, he's questionable, but Maroulis is in.
Their store, a pass to the right side. Bo Lilly makes the catch. And one of the things that Coach Allen told us in the pregame show was Bo didn't get a lot of action last week, but he wants to get him involved in this offense. And he does, catching the first pass for 4 yards.
Now keep an eye on, if you're here in the stands, keep an eye on the Lewisville defense. They run a little bit different. It's a 3-4 look, but one of the outside linebackers will almost always be up in the line of scrimmage. That's number 40, the sophomore Ryan Sewell. He is the outside linebacker. They'll slide their linebackers the other way, playing no shade on D.
Highland Park with the ball. Again, Storr to throw. This time comes to the near side to Jackson Heiss, and he's got a first down as he gets out across the 37-yard line. Ryan Sewell comes in to make the tackle. There is a flag back at the line of scrimmage, so this could be coming back.
Officials talking right now. Again, back to that defense. Keep an eye on number 44, Mason Johnson. Extremely quick, got great hands. He's going to be a load for anybody to handle. Looks like Lewisville lined up off sides on that last play, so the Scots are going to get the 5 yard. They're going to decline it and take the reception.
Scots will get the first down, their first down of the football game as we're just underway. No score as of yet. In the backfield for Highland Park is Jay Cox, who had a tremendous game last week. He rushed 13 times for 60 yards and caught 116 yards in passes, including a big touchdown right across the middle that went for 75 yards.
12, Mark Cooper, the middle linebacker.
Here comes the option play. They'll pitch it to Cox, trying to get around that corner. Oh, he's upended, and he'll fall forward near the 45-yard line. That's Jordan Johnson, the corner, who came in and knocked his feet out from under him as he tried to hurdle the tackler. That's going to be a 7-yard pickup, second down and 3.
You know, most teams would like to run, most teams do run that option to the wide side of the field. Coach Allen has always liked it to the short side, especially down near the goal line, where he can get that corner turn quickly, maybe get some big yardage since the defense usually slides to the field.
Jay Cox will move out of the backfield and move up in a slot position. Empty set formation. They're going downfield, and Heiss has the catch, fights off a tackler, and Heiss is going to take this all the way into the end zone. What a move. That is Jackson Heiss on a 56-yard Touchdown catch from Brennan Storr.
Well, a nice play right there by Jackson Heiss going up and getting this ball. We'll look at the replay right after the extra point. But Heiss does a great job not only in catching the ball, but then tiptoeing down the sidelines and staying in bounds to get the score and the Scots on the board.
That touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions, proudly supporting the Highland Park Scots since 1999.
Here comes that, for those of you watching at home, here comes that replay. We'll get to look at it. Nice pass by Brennan Storr. Good protection by the offensive line. You see how valuable Jay Cox is. He lined up in the backfield and then broke out of the backfield to give an empty set. And really, Lewisville didn't look quite ready for that.
First quarter replays being brought to you tonight by Origin Bank. And there's the pass and the catch and the touchdown. And again, we talked about this in the pregame that Highland Park did a really nice job last week of not going down on first contact, and Jackson Heiss does it again right there.
But what a nice touch on this ball by Brennan Storr, and then the strength of Heiss to pull down the sideline. Jackson Heiss came and gave a little speech at the Highland Park Education Foundation on Wednesday. Just an incredibly well-spoken young man. Everybody there was impressed with what he had to say at that meeting.
Well, for Lewisville, they're going to send deep to do the return chores. Vyron Ellison, he's their starting running back, and he'll be in the middle right there. And for Highland Park, we've got it teed up, and for the Scots, looks like it's going to be, is that Tansy? Joshua Baines has it teed up. He's going to kick from that left hash mark. Our kickoff being brought to you by Davidson Bogle. Davidson Bogle Real Estate, land is their business.
Here he comes.
From the 5-yard line, they'll bring it out up the right side. They broke a tackle, and this one could go all the way. Wow, speed there from Cameron Jenkins. He's finally going to be caught, but not before he takes it all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
And give credit to the coverage. Cornell is there for the tackle from behind, along with William Suarez, who never gave up on the play. You know, sometimes that's going to happen. You're going to have a runner break one, but if you just keep after them and you got a little speed, you can run them down. Now you give your defense a chance to see if they can come up with a stop. Again, I remember years ago, Coach Don Wood saying, hey, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity. It's not a bad situation. Opportunity to make a great play.
10:07 to play first quarter. It's a 7-0 Highland Park lead. For the first time tonight, we've got the Lewisville Fighting Farmers. They'll send a man in motion, snap it back, and Terrell will throw into the flat right side. That's going to be caught by his running back, and he'll jitterbug his way up. And that's going to be Xavier Lewis who gets in there and picks up about 7 yards. Wes Giese makes first contact for Highland Park, but there were several white jerseys there.
Just a little hitch route right there. And Giese comes up, fights off the blocker, and is able to help bring the runner down with help from the inside. Number 75 just came into the game, Ziggy Davis. He's another 300-pounder. They like to run the counter look when he comes in the game. Let's see.
You see that big 79. That's the left tackle, Quay Davis. 6'8", 320 pounds. Here we go, Ethan Terrell at quarterback. He had 4 rushing touchdowns last week. He's going to hand it off. Vyron Ellison is going to get hit just as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Rossley is in there along with Ramey to make the stop. It's going to be a 2-yard pickup and 3rd down and 1 now for Lewisville.
And if you're here in the stands, you happen to have some binoculars, really look down there at that offensive defensive front, because there's going to be a war going on down there. There's a lot of beef trying to be moved back and forth.
We're getting a look at it on the monitor here in the booth as well. Those guys are big, and that's what, Coach Allen told us. He expects them to run ball control offense, keep it on the ground most of the time, and try to run behind that big offensive line.
Unbalanced line.
Here we go. Play action. Throw into the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Lewisville within a point after of tying it up. And in the back of the end zone, that's Kentrell Sorrells. Made the catch. Defending Giese, but a beautiful throw that time by Ethan Terrell. His first touchdown throw of the season.
Well, that time right there, you'll see it here in a minute if we have a replay, but no replay here. But Lewisville went tackle over where they put the tackle over on the left side where the tight end should be and just say, we're going to challenge Highland Park. You can't stop it.
Freddie Hoya to kick the extra point.
They do have a 2-point fake here where the holder stands up and they snap it directly to him and they try to pound it in for a 2-point play. They did that last week against Naaman Forest.
Not sure what the delay was right there. Maybe they didn't have the ball set.
Be ready. They like the 2-point push.
Well, look, they've got that going right here. It looks like now they're going to switch back into the traditional PAT. And the kick is up and on the way. We've got a tie football game here from Max Goldsmith Stadium. Highland Park 7, and the Fighting Farmers of Lewisville 7. We'll be back right after we take this timeout. To play in the first quarter. And let's take a look at that scoring drive. Take a look at that scoring drive for the Fighting Farmers.
And it was a short one, Russell, after a huge kickoff return by the Farmers, 71-yard return. On that drive, though, they go 24 yards in 3 plays, say a minute 50 off the clock. The touchdown, a 20-yard pass to Kentrell Sorrells in the right corner of the end zone. Extra point is good. And with 28 to play in the first quarter, it's Highland Park 7, Lewisville 7.
Our drive recap brought to you by Steward Partners Global Advisory, located in Dallas, Texas. That's Steward Partners Global Advisory. Here we go. Hoya's got it teed up, and it's going to be a high, short kick. Highland Park's going to have a return on right here.
Nice.
Bo Lilly from the 4-yard line. Out across the 20 to near the 24-yard line before he's finally taken down. And here we'll get our second look at the Highland Park offense.
Good little block right there by Grayson Schrank. Everybody thinks he's just a return man. He had a nice block for Bo Lilly coming back on that return.
Didn't give you those starting wide receivers last time around, so let's introduce you to them. Luke Herring, Grayson Schrank will be on the left side most of the time. Bo Lilly and Jackson Heiss will mostly line up to the right. But just as I say that, Lilly's going to join Schrank side. That's the top side of your screen. And Jay Cox will stand just to the right of Brennan Storr in the backfield.
You knew that was going to happen.
Andrew Maroulis is in at center. There was some question whether he was going to be able to play tonight. And he is in there, starting at center for the Scots.
The officials are trying to get the play clock in order. Now it's back to where it should be. Keep an eye on number 2, Cam Jenkins. The safety for Lewisville plays up like a linebacker, so he's going to come up fast. Scots may beat him deep.
They've got that 4-man defensive front. Here's the throw out to Heiss, a little down and out. Makes a nice catch at the 31. Johnson runs him out of bounds on the near side. And Highland Park moves the ball 8 yards.
Coach,
boy, that seems like they made a lot of yardage on that in the first drive.
Yeah, they did. It seems like he's going to be content to take what Lewisville gives him, but Heiss is going against a much shorter cornerback over there, so look for Coach Allen to come back to it.
Heiss is 6'2". Now Highland Park's going to go the other way. Jay Cox has the first down and runs out of bounds on his side of the field. That's Brian Perez who bumped him. I would venture to say that Perez took the brunt of that collision.
Yeah, and Jay Cox, leading rusher last week, leading receiver last week. He coming out of the backfield is a threat. And he didn't pick up a lot, but he got a first down. But look for him to really give the Scots some more firepower when they shift out of one back to empty.
Here we go. Scots with 4 wide receivers. Fake the handoff. Storr's in a little bit of trouble now. He's going to go down. He'll be taken down back around the 34-yard line. And among those getting in there is Mason Johnson. He came from a defensive tackle position, gets his first sack of the season.
But Johnson limping as he comes up. He is very, very active up front. Hard to handle because he plays with his hands moving around very quickly. He gets leverage up under you. He's not a big guy, but his motor's running 90 miles an hour. Scott's offensive line going to have to really work hard to contain him.
Scots now have second down and 14. Ball's at their own 34-yard line. Play action this time. Storr looks left, throws left, has a receiver there. That's going to be a wide open catch by Luke Herring. Then he turns it up and gets very near the line needed. I'm not sure if he made it or not. We haven't gotten a call from the official just yet.
Look, if they give him the spot, then it's first down.
Let's take a look at the replay right there. And does a nice job.
Yeah.
Herring ducks his head and just plows into the defensive back. 14 yards, and it is
First
enough
down.
for the first down.
So Scots do a good job, overcome the sack right there.
With that
Again.
play, Highland Park's now gone over 100 yards of total offense. First down from their own 48. Jay Cox up the middle. He'll plow his way forward for about 3. He's going to get gang tackled and push back to his own 49. But the forward progress gives him the Farmers 49.
Once again, what Lewisville does, they walk up that outside linebacker, they slide the defensive end down to a no shade, push everybody opposite, meaning they all go to the left, the backers go to the right. All right, they think they're defending the field better that way, but a little bit different front than you'll see from a lot of teams.
This time the Scots send 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. That's the bottom of your screen. That's Luke Herring all alone wide to the left side this time. Play action, Storr in trouble again. He throws this one away. Just had to get rid of it or take the sack. He was getting a lot of pressure from Mark Cooper, inside linebacker, and also pressure coming in there from Omarius Lockhart.
Yeah, Omarius Lockhart got by the right side of the Highland Park offensive line and got into Storr's face, which is you just can't allow to happen. You got to give your quarterback a clean pocket to throw from.
Storr's first incomplete pass, he had been 6 of 6 for 97 yards prior to that incompletion.
And sophomore Will Ogle just entered the game at left guard for the Scots. Watts over to the tackle spot.
Here we go on third down for Highland Park. Storr flushed out and taken down. Second sack of the night. This time the sack's being made by...
It's number 21 right there, Russell. And that
Byron Ellison, who starts
Ellison.
at running back, getting some playing time in the secondary tonight.
I kept looking at his number thing and saying, surely they don't have their starting running back in there playing safety, but yes, they do.
Well, I'll tell you the other thing about Lewisville that's a little bit different. They're a 6A school, but boy, their roster is very short. They've got they don't have a ton of players out there. But again, they were 11-2 last year, went to the third round of the playoffs before they lost to South Lake Carroll.
Only lost to Marcus and South Lake last year. It's not bad.
Fourth down and long, punting situation, and the Scots will get this one up and off. And Tansey will kick this one down, takes a bounce at the 20, and finally the Scots will. I think it was touched.
Scots are saying that it bounced off number 10 down there, but apparently it went off one of the Scots players before that.
Yeah, I think it went off of one of the Scots players down around the 17-yard line. And that's where they're going to mark
That's
it.
why they tell the receiving back, if it's bouncing, get away from it.
Let's take a replay.
Let's take a look.
Good look at it. Replay is brought to you by Origin Bank. Highland Park Scots are sponsored by Origin. Every great relationship has an origin story.
Never did get to see that replay, at least up here in our booth. There we go.
Here we go.
Richter, Hummel, and Ellis on the defensive front. Let's see how they match that big, beefy
43-yard punt, and on the first play of their second offensive possession, they'll hand it off to Ellison, and he dances his way out before Adam Rourke finally brings him down at the 25. And that's an 8-yard pickup, and I'll tell you what, we're seeing some moves there by Ellison.
Well, one of the things you've got to do is if you're up front, you got to get off the block. You cannot get tangled up. And I'll tell you right now, after watching film on Quay Davis, he's going to hold you every play. His game is to grab you, throw you to the ground, and lay on you. And a lot of times it's very effective, but you just can't let yourself get caught up in that. You got to hit, separate, and go.
Here we go on second down in short yardage. This time the quarterback's going to take it around the right side. Terrell will keep it, and he's going to get thrown to the turf. That's Tommy Rossley, who didn't play last week, but steps in there and makes a huge play on third and short.
Now, I'll tell you exactly why that play was effective from the Scots standpoint is all three defensive linemen gave themselves up effectively. They just flew into the knees of the lineman in front of them, effectively cut them, and allowed the linebackers to run and make the play, and Rossley paid it off for him.
I think they're going to give him forward progress all the way out to the 27-yard line.
Really?
And that will be enough for a first down, as they were late to mark it and get the chains moved. So it is going to be a first down for Lewisville. Their second first down of the first quarter. And again, with 3 minutes to go, 7-7 Highland Park and Lewisville all tied up.
Hummel, Richter, Ellis down front.
Terrell again in quarterback's going to hand it to Ellison, and he gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage. That's Adam Rourke, who slipped back there and makes the tackle for a loss.
Nice play.
That's going to be a 2-yard loss, and 2nd and 12 now coming for the Fighting Farmers.
Well, I believe that play, Lewisville went into the tackle over again, where they moved one of the offensive linemen over to the tight end position. He's ineligible, and that allowed Adam Rourke to come in and make that play.
Here we go. Farmers will send 3 receivers far to the right side, 1 off to the left side.
This is where you want to be. Second and long, force him to throw.
Terrell out of the shotgun. Looks to the short side of the field.
Nice.
It's caught, but Rourke is there to bring down the receiver, Lamar Kirby, who made that catch well short of the first down yardage needed. And third down coming up right here, and about 4 needed.
Big third down play. You know, when you play defense, you want to force your opponent to do something that they're not comfortable doing. Well, for Lewisville, that's throwing the ball. Not that they can't be effective doing it, but they're not near as effective throwing the ball as they are running the ball. So Highland Park is trying their best to keep them in third and long.
Farmers are 1 for 1 on third down conversions. They want to throw it. Terrell
Judge
rolls
Ellis
to the
got
right
held.
side. Here comes the blitz. And a long pass downfield is going to be incomplete, but I think we're going to have holding called back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, big number 75, Ziggy Davis, had Judge Ellis wrapped up, had him pulling his jersey from behind, and not a hard call to see at all right there. I'm telling you, if you're here in the stands, you will see it or you'll see it on replays. Again, Lewisville holds on virtually every play, but in today's game, they don't get the calls much.
That replay brought to you by Origin Bank. Carl Williams was in coverage right there, doing a nice job. But again, a penalty against the Fighting Farmers, and they'll have to punt the ball away. Jay Cox will stand at his own 45-yard line to receive the punt.
Okay, yeah, they decline the penalty and take the fourth down.
Ball's going to be spotted to the left hash mark.
Here we go.
Punt coming up right here. Freddie Hoya stands at his own 21. Somebody jumped on the defensive line, but they get back quickly. And here comes the blitz. They blocked it.
It's
Highland Park
Rourke
has blocked it, and the Scots will have it inside the 5-yard line of Lewisville.
Adam Rourke gets his second block in 2 weeks. Field goal last week, punt this week. Boy, he come rifling in there. Let's look at that replay.
Adam Rourke with the block on the punt. We'll get a look at it right here.
Oh, he clearly blocked that and could have, if he could have found it, couldn't find where it was, he'd have picked it up on the bounce and scored. Tries to get a little help back there from his teammate, but the Scots are going to have it first and goal inside the 5-yard line.
William White, the other that was back there trying to pick up that loose football. And Highland Park should have it. First and goal to go. I'm trying to figure out what the officials are doing now.
Highland Park had a warning about sideline warning about staying back, I believe, after celebrating that blocked punt and probably insertion into the can.
I never saw a flag, but they're bringing the chains down, so obviously this is going to be marked off against Highland Park. They would have started inside the 5-yard line.
I think they're going to be at inside the 5. It's a warning.
Okay, it's just a warning.
All right. This is
okay, here we go.
If your offensive line, you want to pound it in. Sweeney, Basso, Maroulis, Watts, Lawson, Petty.
Wilson Axley is going to join Jay Cox in the backfield. As Brennan Storr looks to the sidelines, plays are being signaled in. They still have not started the play clock or the game clock. Now they're going to mark it off and move it all the way back to the 17.
That's interesting. I've never seen them mark off a sideline infraction without a warning, but maybe we missed one.
Well, I was wondering if there was an unsportsmanlike on the celebration against Highland Park.
He gave the signal of you're out on the field.
Well, nevertheless, Highland Park still has it in red zone territory. They'll start at the 17-yard line. Ball spotted, left hash mark. Lilly and Heiss will split wide to the right side. That's going to be Schrank and Herring on the short side of the field to the top of your screen. Cox will stand just to the left of Storr. Maroulis out over the football, snaps it back. Storr across the middle, complete. That's Schrank. And he'll fall forward to the 14-yard line. That's Cooper on the tackle.
Mark Cooper really makes that Lewisville defense go. He's telling everybody where to go, directing traffic. Very active linebacker, somebody the Scots have to contain tonight to be successful.
2nd down and 6 now for the Scots. Ball spotted center of the field. Delay handoff. Here's Jay Cox. Jay Cox inside the 10 will fight his way down to the 8-yard line before he's taken down eventually by Isaac Black, who was in at a nose guard. Let's take a look at that one more time. Jay Cox taking the delayed handoff, and he gets hit. Coming in there to make the tackle, Isaac Black.
Scott's got some big-time yardage off that last week. Ran it 2 or 3 different occasions, and getting it now.
Wilson Axley checks in, so the Scots go with a 2-back formation as they're inside the 10-yard line. Axley's going to take the handoff. Steps inside the 5-yard line before he's going to be pulled down. And it's going to be 1st and goal to go for Highland Park. That was Mason Johnson on the tackle for the Farmers.
And that's a little power play right there. Scott's running right to left power. He gets a good lead block by Whit Basso. Another great lead block by his buddy Jay Cox on the defensive end.
That's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter, and after 1 here at Max Goldsmith Stadium. Highland Park 7, Lewisville 7. We're back right after this.
When I think Lexus, I automatically think Sewell.
When I look at a license plate that says just Lexus, I'm like, oh, that's good for you. When I see a Sewell on it, I'm like, you know what I know.
I show up and I have my crew with me. They acknowledge me and they acknowledge my children, maybe give them a high five.
You get more than you expect. You get the wow factor at Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and L-certified Lexus vehicles at Sewell Lexus.
Determination on the field breeds determination in life. Discipline needed on the court will be the same discipline that gets the job done. That's why Tailwater Capital is a proud supporter of the Highland Park Athletic Program, the winningest athletic program in the state of Texas. 11 Lone Star Cups, 112 state championships, and a commitment to excellence that serves its players for a lifetime. From the locker room to the boardroom, Scots find a way.
Ready for the second quarter to get underway here at Max Goldsmith Stadium. Along with Jim Castellaw, I'm Russell Scott. Pat Sauer and Jay Ellis along the sidelines. Highland Park 1st and goal to go. First play of the second quarter. Highland Park 2 backs in the backfield. Axley and Jay Cox. Storr looks back to the sideline. Those plays are signaled in.
Single coverage on Jackson Heiss out to the right.
That's the wide side of the field. Let's see what happens right here. Play action fake. They're going to go to him and thrown across the middle. That ball is knocked down, and getting a hand on it is Jaden Hardy, and Brian Perez was in the area as well. 2nd down and goal to go now for the Scots from the 5-yard line.
The difficult thing from Lewisville's standpoint is Hardy did a good job jumping that inside, but if you jump that hard inside, there's no way you can stop the fade route going back the other way. Unless you're just a magician. So look for Coach Allen to come back to that, if not down here, sometime later in this game.
Here we go, 2nd and goal to go, Highland Park. This time, fake the handoff to Jay Cox, who got a great block. Throw into the end zone. It's incomplete. Almost caught that time, but just couldn't get his arms wrapped around it. And it's going to be 3rd down and goal to go for Highland Park. That was Wilson Axley who was trying to scoop it up off the turf.
And Axley is a nice little runner inside and outside. Obviously, receiving is something he's great at as well.
Here we go, 3rd and goal to go. Scots again look to the sideline. Play signaled in, they're ready to go.
Again,
this time they're going to tighten things up just a little bit.
Middle of the field may be open.
Here we go. Storr looks right, throws right, receiver fell down. That time it was Jackson Heiss who slipped when he was trying to make his cut. And 4th down situation in Highland Park. Looks like they're going to bring their field goal unit on.
So Jake Tansey or Bain? Let's see. Let's
take a look at that replay.
Yeah, Jackson Heiss just slips and falls. With his height, he might have been able to go up and get that in front of the defender out there, Jaden Hardy.
Our 2nd quarter highlights brought to you by Henry S. Miller. Here we go. Field goal attempt coming up right here. Here's Tansey. Had a 31-yarder last week, and this one he'll put up and hit from 22 yards out. Highland Park retakes the lead at 10-7 after the field goal by Tansey.
Russell, I got a note earlier today that Coach Allen's son, Zach, is watching the game tonight from Saudi Arabia. Now, probably not night over there, probably the middle of the day, but, we had one from China. Now we've got one from Saudi Arabia, and also we want to get well soon wish go out to Coach Allen's dad out in Abilene. He's out in Abilene recuperating, watching the game tonight on GameOn Sports.
And if you're watching the game, we'd love to hear from you. You can go on our social media and drop us a line. And I believe that Pat Sauer is down in the stands and may have a guest for us. Pat, you got somebody to talk to?
I have 3 of the senior captain cheerleaders here. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ava Bring. Hi, I'm Lucy Feld. And I'm
Okay, we got the Scots cheerleaders here. All right, what is your prediction of the score tonight?
38-20. I think that Luke Herring's going to have a breakout game, and I think he's going to have at least 5 catches.
I think William White's going to have a great game with 7 solos.
Okay, 10-4. Good job, girl.
Here's our Davidson and Bogle kickoff, and it is a high end-over-end kick. It's going to be fielded at the 32-yard line and brought out to about the 36 or so. I think that's where they're going to spot the football.
Why am I not surprised Pat's hanging out with the cheerleaders?
Exactly.
Hey, real quickly, Russell, that drive, you don't hear this very often. It was a negative 3-yard drive for the Scots. 7 plays, took a minute 30 off the clock. The scoring play, a 22-yard field goal by Tansey. This drive recap is brought to you by Steward Partners Global Advisory, located right here in Dallas, Texas.
Lewisville for the 3rd time with the football. Again, Highland Park's up 10-7. We're in the 2nd quarter, 11:36 to play before we get to halftime. Scots have that 3-man defensive look. Snap's going to be back to the quarterback who fakes the handoff. Then that little look-in pattern to Lamar Kirby, makes the catch and then gets swarmed and brought down. Adam Rourke and Brady Dautrieve combined on the tackle. It is a 12-yard gain, and that is enough for a 1st down.
Scots rolling their defensive line as we've talked about all the pregame. Carlson, Montgomery, and Spencer Brown in up front for the Scots. So look for that rotation to continue to keep the defensive linemen fresh and fighting off the big Lewisville offensive line.
Just the 3rd 1st down for Lewisville, and now they've got some issues with the down marker and the chains over on the far side of the field. That's the 2nd week in a row we've had that. Are we bad luck or something?
I think they're defective.
These are not the fancy ones that show all the down and distance. Also like to remind you, coming up at halftime, we will let you look in on the Bells performance and look and listen in on the Highlander Band. That's coming up at halftime. Here we go, ready to go on a 1st down. They're going to fake the handoff, the throw into the flat near side. Was it caught or did he short hop it? I think they're going to call it a catch. And that is Kentrell Sorellis who made the catch. And that's going to be a 5-yard throw.
Let's take a look, Russell. I don't know if you can tell from that angle. I don't know if the official could tell because he's on the same side of the field we are, and you kind of screened. That's a call the umpire has to help you with behind the offensive line.
Carl Williams defending on the play.
All right, this is going to be the tackle over situation again. Lewisville will line up an offensive lineman at their left tight end spot. They've got a sniffer back behind the left side of the line. Look for the counter. They like that counter look with the sniffer back coming back to the right.
Now there's going to be a timeout. It's going to be taken by Coach Michael Odell of the Lewisville Farmers. Wants to talk about this before he runs it. Something didn't look right for him right there, so he will spend a timeout. Mike Maccabee, our statistician, working on this. He'll have a look at stats coming up at the break as well. And Brennan Storr, 8 of 12, 104 yards passing and 1 touchdown in the first half so far. Leading receiver right now is Jackson Heiss with 3 catches for 72 yards and a touchdown.
We see you because we are you. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs. As one of the few Texas banks participating in the Main Street Lending Program, Vista Bank is helping small businesses put America back to work. Isn't it time you join the over 1,500 new PPP clients and make your move to a bank that hustles as hard as you do? Vista Bank. People first.
Just tell you what, that tackle overplay didn't work so well for Lewisville, as you saw right there. Quarterback got in a little bit of a pickle, and Ethan Terrell had to try to make something out of not much. Simply throws it away, and it's an incomplete pass. And how about Highland Park's defense getting in there and forcing him to just throw it away?
Well, it's one of the things you probably have to look at doing, and Coach Bleidner did it right there, bringing the outside linebacker, Charlie Barton, with the quick pressure into Ethan Terrell's face, forced him to flush out of the pocket, and then Tommy Rossley came late to clean it up. But that's sometimes one of the best things you can do against a big, giant offensive line is put the pressure on him from the outside.
Scots with that 3-man defensive front. Here's Terrell on an option play. He'll keep it himself, and he'll pick up the first down. Got his helmet knocked off by Carl Williams, and I believe he did reach that line needed, and they'll move the chains, and it's going to be another first down, the 5th first down for Lewisville.
Look for that option play to be run again by Lewisville. They ran it a bunch against Naaman Forest in the game last week, but Ethan Terrell is a threat on it. He's more of a threat running the ball than pitching it, though.
He had 4 rushing touchdowns last week, including an 85-yard touchdown run. Terrell turns, hands off to Ellison this time. Ellison trying to look for a place to go. He does a nice job of jitterbugging through the defense. Finally, he's going to get his ankles caught, and Adam Rourke's going to bring him to the turf, but not before Vyron Ellison picks up 10 yards.
Well, on that last play right there, you see the backer step up, look for motion. William White does a good job of holding outside leverage. He could have jumped inside to make the play theoretically, but if he did, the back breaks outside and he may have scored. And William White, by holding the edge right there, shuts the Ellison down to just a first down instead of a touchdown.
That's Ellison's 4th carry. He's got 18 yards rushing. First down now from the Highland Park 31-yard line. This time they'll set the running back right behind the quarterback. Highland Park's got that 3-man defensive front. Throw to the right side, incomplete. And there was some miscommunication between Ethan Terrell and Cam Jenkins. Jenkins, interestingly enough, plays both offense and defense, and has a lot of offers coming in to play college ball. Iowa has called him. Arkansas has called him. Baylor has called him. He still has yet to decide where he wants to play next year.
And a tackle over now this time for Lewisville will be on their right side. Again, he's an offensive lineman. The cornerback has no coverage over here to the offensive right. Trips receivers left.
There's a bunch set formation over there on the far side. Ellison will take the handoff off tackle and will punch this out for about 3 yards. Ramey is there to make the tackle. Yep. Barton is over there as well to get in on the tackle. That's going to be a 3-yard pickup. 3rd down and 7. situation. Let's take a look at this.
Look at this. We have trouble with our replay because it goes black halfway through. But Raymond, Barton, Ramey making the play. Big third down right here for the Scots defense. See if they can force Lewisville into a possible field goal attempt. 3rd and about 6, maybe 7.
Ethan Burt comes in at the corner position to the lower part of your screen. And there is a whistle, and a timeout was called right before they snapped the football. So Lewisville spending their second timeout.
Well, it's been a good game so far. This has been fun to watch. Both these teams can definitely hold their own.
Kind of hard to believe that of all the teams around the Metroplex, I mean, Lewisville's been good for, especially back in the 90s. They were so good with 2 state championships.
Yep.
Only the second time that Highland Park and Lewisville have played, and the first time back in 1923.
I know you would think that, of course, at that time, Lewisville was a long way away from Highland Park. They rode the train, to get back and forth. It'd be interesting to know where they played and if they had to ride a train to get there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Brad Bradley would know, probably.
But first time that Highland Park has been here as well. They've never played in this stadium, any playoff games or anything, as we take this quick timeout.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. Team Baker Brothers really stopped that running toilet in its tracks. No more running toilets.
Now that's what I call a bathroom break.
Okay, Jimmy.
Call now to get this month's great deal from Baker Brothers.
3rd down and 7 now for Lewisville out of the timeout. They've got the sniffer back set to the right side. Option play comes to the near side. Here's Ellison. Ellison's going to get hit by 3. First man there is William White, who makes the tackle. Also got some help from Brady Dotrieve as well. That's going to be a nice little pickup. Leaves them short of the first down by about 1.5 yards, 2 yards. And a 4th down now for Lewisville. Let's see what Coach Odell decides to do right here.
And that was an impressive tackle by William White and Brady Dotrieve coming up, because there was a train wreck right there, and usually the back's going to really win that, but Dotrieve really held his own. Here we go.
Here we go on 4th down. Quarterback's going to keep it hit near the line of scrimmage. He fought his way forward and gets the first down. Rossley made the first hit on that. Highland Park not able to stop.
That was Jaden Hardy.
The quarterback, Jaden Hardy, who was in there at quarterback at that position, took the snap and ran it right up the middle.
Yeah, Lewisville does a lot of wildcat looks on the extra point and also in the middle of the field, obviously. Look for Jaden Hardy to be there again.
10th play of the drive coming up right here, and a first down from the Highland Park 19-yard line now. This drive has gone more than 4 minutes for the Farmers. Fake the handoff, and again, looks to the left, into the end zone. The pass is going to be incomplete.
Nice job by Adam
defense
Rourke.
Back there by Adam Rourke. Pass was intended that time for Lamar Kirby, and it's incomplete.
Well, if you're here in the stands, over on your side of the field, on the Highland Park side of the field, the left tackle for Lewisville, you saw what his technique is. Grab the defensive end by the shoulders, throw him to the ground and hold him, and then lay on him. And that's obviously worked, I guess, but again, not the greatest technique. Effective if you're not going to throw the flag.
That replay, by the way, brought to you by Henry S. Miller, the right call for commercial real estate and a proud supporter of your Highland Park Scots. 2nd down and 10, and it is going to be taken by Lewisville. They're out of timeouts now. Coach Odell wants to make sure he's got the right play in there. Well, talked to him this week, and he talked so much about Highland Park and how impressed he is year in and year out, how well they play. He was really looking forward to this game. And, of course, he took this team three rounds deep in the playoffs last year. And I asked him what it was that just kind of finally made them snap. And he said, everything just came together.
Right.
The bad part is he lost a ton of seniors off that team. When I asked him about last week's game, he said, we had a lot of big-eyed guys out there last week. So many of these guys were playing their first varsity game. but they had a nice win over Naaman Forest last Friday night.
But you know what will settle those nerves down? Linemen like this who can really blow open holes. All right. Let's see if the Scots can pressure Lewisville into making a mistake. What you want is 2nd and 10. If you can hold them on second down, make it 3rd and long, you got a much better shot.
That's Mike Fauci, who they moved from right around to the left side, so they've got a little heavy set on the left side. Play action fake. The throw is to Kirby, makes the catch, and then is spun down by Adam Rourke. And there is a flag on the play, and it looks like there's going to be an illegal receiver downfield.
Yep.
And so this is going to be
marked
off against Lewisville, and this is going to be a big penalty. 15 yards, right?
Yep. Yeah, you don't usually on those out routes. Of course, the quarterback hesitated a little bit before he threw. On those out routes, you don't see linemen have time to get downfield very much. But we didn't get a replay of that. Maybe we can take a look at it. But 75 coming off the field, he might have been the guilty party.
It was a 5-yard penalty, not a 15-yard penalty. That's why I'm talking and not officiating the game. 2nd down and 15 to go right here. They're having a few problems with the play clock here as well.
Hummel, Richter in the game.
There's a man in motion. And Terrell wants to throw, has some time. Now he's in trouble. Richter trying to get to him.
Yeah.
And finally, he's forced to throw it before he wanted to. That's big Judge Ellis, who was about to clobber him as well before he released it downfield. Incomplete.
And give credit to Tommy Rossley. He picks up, I believe it was Rossley, if I'm not mistaken. Look here on the replay. You see there the tackle holding our defensive end, Richter. But anyway, flushed out to the right side. And I believe it was Rossley that dropped into coverage, didn't give the quarterback the easy shot downfield. 3rd and long now. Let's see what Coach Leidner dials up to put pressure on Ethan Terrell.
Okay, that was a illegal receiver downfield penalty. Wasn't a big penalty, but it was a loss of down. So now it's 3rd down and 15. And a little look-in catch made by Kirby. He's taken down immediately by Rourke, but it's not going to be anywhere close to 1st down territory. And now it is 4th down and 9.
Well, you know what? I'd be a little incensed if I was Adam Rourke, because he arguably probably the best Highland Park cornerback, best guy at the second, and here comes they're picking on him one after another. Maybe they thought he was hurt. I don't know.
Freddie Hoya is going to kick the field goal from 35 yards out. He splits the uprights to tie the football game at 10 apiece with 5:24. Jay Ellis is along the sideline for us tonight, as always, and we're going to go down to Jay and check in with him.
Yeah, Russell. So early in that play, in that drive, when Adam Rourke was one-on-one in the back corner of the end zone, he came up favoring his shoulder and also looking like maybe he had cramps. I'm pretty sure from watching he didn't, but I suspect that the Lewisville coaching staff up in the box saw that and decided we're going to pick on a guy that may be struggling. Of course, as we saw throughout the remainder of that possession, Adam Rourke was in no way weakened, and in fact made the play several times as a key factor for the Scots holding them and holding Lewisville just to a field goal.
If I was Adam, I'd be waving at him saying, "Come on, bring it over here. Let's go. You think you got something to work on?"
That was the plan all along. The guy's 3 steps ahead with his brain and his feet.
Right.
Our kickoff's brought to you tonight by Davidson and Bogle. Davidson and Bogle Real Estate. Land is their business. Let's take a look at that scoring drive for Lewisville.
Well, that was a lot of plays, but not many yards. The Farmers go 45 yards in 13 plays, take 6:22 off the clock. The scoring play, a 35-yard field goal. And this scoring recap is brought to you by Stewart Partners Global Advisory, located right here in Dallas, Texas. All right, Coach Allen and the Scots got 5 minutes, 24 seconds to answer. Let's see if they can counterpunch.
Hoya with a short kick, going to be fielded and fair caught right around the 32-yard line. That's Frank Musa, the up-back, who got under there and made the fair catch call, and Highland Park's going to have it in pretty good field position.
And we'll probably see Musa at some point in this game down near the goal line, short yardage. He's making a name for himself there.
He had one carry in last week's game, and now he's got a fair catch on that very short kick. Last week we didn't see any Highland Park returns on a kickoff, and that's the first time we've seen anybody with a... Did we have a fair catch last week? Oh, that's right. Bo Lilly had a return a little bit earlier. Colin Hale has come into the game. Highland Park with the screen pass set up to Cox. There's a flag down, and Cox is going to pick up only a couple of yards. Jaden Hardy comes in there to make the tackle. And let's see what the penalty is going to be.
It's thrown by the linesman over here, so a lot of times that's a downfield violation before the pass is thrown.
Officials talking it over.
About it. What do you think? I don't know. What do you think? Yeah. So he's putting his flag back in his pocket.
Jay Ellis, our referee tonight. Who did you say our referee is? Arthur Williams.
Arthur Williams.
I just found it.
He's going to make a call. You know, the linesman who threw the flag has put it back, but Arthur Williams is talking to, it looks like mostly to Grayson Schrank here. I suspect the decision is whether the receiver was across the line of scrimmage. Oh no, we've got
illegal receiver downfield, so the ball must have been caught past the line of scrimmage.
But he pointed the wrong way, suggesting that it was a delay of game by Lewisville, which it wasn't. But you've got it, Jim. On that screen pass, if the receiver catches it just an inch past that line of scrimmage, if we have linemen downfield, which we do by design, then that's an illegal man downfield.
5-yard penalty moves the ball back, and Highland Park should be a loss of down. This should be second. A little down and out. Catch is made, run out of bounds right near the 30-yard line. That's Jay Cox. And among those in on the tackle, Mark Cooper, the linebacker, and Gibbs was in there as well.
Gerard Gibbs.
Jay Cox making
right
the catch. Jay had 116 yards receiving in last week's game against Marcus.
Again, I can't help but think Coach Allen's going to take advantage. Got a bunch trip set to the right.
Here we go on second down. Straight drop back. Storr wants to throw, now in trouble. Shakes one tackle, can't get away from the second man. That's Mason Johnson, who pulled him down by the ankles. And third down and long coming now for Highland Park.
Mason Johnson, just a massive bull rush on the left side of the Highland Park offensive line. Is able to get penetration back into Storr's lap, and Storr cannot quite escape it. Gets what he can over on the right side.
Scots are going to go with the two-back set right here on third and long. Highland Park last year was up around 75% on third down conversions. Last week, the Scots were 54%, and that was one of the things that Coach Allen mentioned to me when I visited with him yesterday, was that he wanted the third down conversion rate to do a little bit better. As they talk it over, we're going to go to commercial. Back in a moment.
With almost 100 offices across the state of Texas and 50 of them in the DFW area alone, Capital Title is here to serve you. Made by Texans, for Texans. Capital Title is the largest independent title company in the United States. We are Dallas-born, Dallas-based, and family-owned. We support the Highland Park Scots.
Just 3:44 to play here in the first half. 10-10 ball game, and the Scots facing some decisions here on 3rd and 11 from their own 31-yard line.
I always like to see what Coach Allen dials up in a situation like this. 3rd and 11, Scots need to maintain ball control, take the ball downfield, but two backs is what he's going to throw out there.
Here we go. Storr is going to throw. Looks downfield. He's going to go as far as he can go. He's
Yep,
got a receiver, and it's caught. And that's Grayson Schrank. He'll outrun everybody into the end zone. Touchdown, Highland Park.
And just like I said, I love to see what Coach Allen dials up. He comes up with on 3rd and 11, hard sprint out by Brennan Storr to the left. Grayson Schrank, who can fly, just takes off and runs as far as he can. Storr throws it as far as he can with beautiful touch on the ball, and Schrank catches it in stride to put the Scots in the lead.
69-yard touchdown catch brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions, proudly supporting the Scots since 1999. Kicks up and on the way, Tansey converts the point after, and Highland Park again extends their lead out to 17-10 with 3:33 to play. Our extra points tonight brought to you by Brett Kennedy and Peter McGuire with Kensington Vanguard, the Kensington Vanguard National Title Company, a proud supporter of Highland Park Scots.
The Scots just deliver a gut punch to Lewisville. They think they're going to get the ball back with a chance to take the lead. Storr escapes the pressure by rolling out. And again, we've talked about it. Schrank runs as far as he can and catches it in stride. But again, that's a momentum builder, but it's something that Lewisville probably feels like, what just happened? On that scoring drive for the Scots, with that pass, they go 68 yards in 3 plays, take 1:51 off the clock. The scoring play, a 69-yard pass from Brennan Storr to Grayson Schrank. Tansey adds an extra point, and with 3:33 to go in the first half, it's Highland Park 17, Lewisville 10.
Kickoff brought to you by Davidson Bogle. Baines will tee it up, kick from right to left. Let's see what happens this time.
Hey, get down there and cover it. He's probably going to sky kick it again. Scots aren't going to want to deal with another long return.
That's Ellison in the middle. He's the main returnman. And it's going to go over his head. It's going to be fielded down there. And that is Xavier Lewis. Brought it out from the 2-yard line across the 25 to about the 27-yard line.
And that was number 25, Lucas Kaler and Prowse down, Kellner, and Prowse on the hit.
22-yard return sets the ball just inside the 26-yard line. And again, just look at that big offensive line trot out onto the field for the Farmers.
Well, let's see if the Scots defense can manufacture a turnover or something, strengthen and lengthen out this lead.
Terrell and Ellison in the backfield.
Carlson, Montgomery, and Spencer Brown up front.
Here's Terrell to throw. Has it, caught on the right side. That's Ty Miller. Made the catch. He had a blocker out in front of him. That was Philip Patterson. Carl Williams comes in and makes the tackle. And Hunter Thompson in there as well. Hunter Thornton.
Thornton in an outside linebacker for William White. Again, Remy and Rossley in the middle. Dotrieve and Williams deep.
2nd down and 5. Ball's hit the 31. Play action. Throw to the near side. Caught. Cam Jenkins. He will not get out of bounds. He's going to be tackled by Wes Giese. They'll move the chains and start the clock up as soon as they get it set.
Giese continued to improve, playing in place of Mac Ballard, who's been out injured, but Giese's continuing to get better and better every time out. Obviously, playing with a guy like Rourke on the other side helps.
2:22 to play in the first half. Here's Ellison up the middle. Started to the left side, cuts back to the right side. And for the Scots, coming in there to make the tackle is Wes Giese again, as he filled that hole and forced the running back to kind of cut and knocked his feet out from under him.
And we talked about it. One of the reasons Giese looks like he's playing a linebacker, because to his side is the tackle over, so there's nobody eligible on his side. So he just backed up into linebacker depth and was there to make the play.
Again, the Farmers with no timeouts left. On 2nd down. Terrell to throw.
Get outside.
Now he's going to get flushed out. Left side, throws, has a receiver wide open. That is Ty Miller, who made a big catch And first down inside the Scots 35-yard line.
And Spencer Brown got wrapped up just like a Christmas package by the left tackle. And you look at the replay on this, and he's trying to get away to pursue out to the quarterback, and he is held up. Tied in with the catch, though, and a first down.
Here we go. Play action again. Throw to the near side. Caught, but the receiver fell down. Tried to get up. He's going to have to wait 2 more leagues before he can get up after he falls down and run with the ball.
And 1:14 and counting for the Lewisville Farmers, trying to get in the end zone. See if the Scots can stop them. 33-yard line.
Second down and 10. Again,
blitz.
Terrell to throw. The blitz comes up the middle. He got hit just as he released the ball. Almost caught, but Adam Rourke was back there to make a nice play. That was Charlie Barton, and also getting back there, Kyle Carlson, who really made the big hit on the quarterback.
I'm telling you, Kyle Carlson faced up Ethan Terrell and pancaked him. You can't get a better rush than what Carlson had right there.
Here's a look at it. We're right up the middle.
That's like, how do you do, Mr. Terrell?
Third down and 10.
Here we go. Scots need pressure again. That's the key.
3 receivers to the top of your screen. Terrell sets, looks downfield, has plenty of time. Now cocks his arm, throws downfield, incomplete.
Good coverage right down there.
Nice coverage down there by Carl Williams.
And that's going to bring a fourth down, but out of field goal range, so Lewisville's going to have to go for it. New defensive lineman coming in. Give those guys who've been in there a rest.
Judge Ellis is in there. Ford Hummel.
And Henry Richter. That's great. A lot of kids would go, no, I want to start and play every down. All these guys say, hey, I love it. It keeps us all fresh. Here comes the Scots.
Here we go on a fourth down. 4th and 10 for Lewisville.
Oh,
Terrell
Rossley
in trouble. Tommy Rossley chasing after him, who may have gotten a cramp or pulled a muscle. He's limping. He's going to go off the field. Let's hope that it's not going to be anything serious. A pass is incomplete into the end zone, and Highland Park's defense has held.
And good, smart play by the Highland Park secondary. They had a chance to go up for the interception, but realizing it's 4th down, they say, no, it's just as good, even better, if we bat it to the ground.
Look at 39 seconds to go for Highland Park.
Hope Rossley.
Look at it.
Rourke with the bat down. I hope Rossley's okay. He came up limping like he had maybe a hamstring issue.
I think it's cramps. Rossley didn't play last week, so this is his first game. Yeah, everybody else got their cramps out last week.
Your turn. 39 seconds left for the Scots. Let's see if Coach Allen tries to tack one on.
Scots go empty set formation this time. 5 wide receivers. Throw comes to the near side, intended for Herring. Off of his arm. Back defending on the play is...
That's number 22.
Jordan Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Jordan Johnson. Who has been doing a good job in coverage tonight. Of course, he had help over the top.
Tell you what, it
makes it easier.
If you get a look at number 1 out there, Jaden Hardy, he's a guy that has offers from everybody, including Alabama, Ohio State, LSU. Let's see what Storr's going to do right here. Now he's flushed out. He still shakes tackles and throws downfield. It's incomplete, out of bounds. He had to get rid of it. Makes the smart throw. Doesn't put it in any kind of jeopardy. And Highland Park 3rd and 10.
Nice job up front by left tackle Lawson Petty. Looks like he was going to get beat. Then he pancakes his man and stays on top of him. Again, there's just a war going on between these offensive and defensive lines of Highland Park and Lewisville.
You know, you talked about wondering what Coach Randy Allen was going to draw up. This is the kind of place he often draws up, those gadget plays.
Yep.
Stack the receivers, 2 to either side. Straight drop, Storr's in trouble. Sheds 1 tackler and then has to throw it away. 4th down and 10, and the Scots are going to have to punt.
Right.
Only 16 seconds to play, though, and Lewisville cannot stop the clock.
Quick pressure that time by defensive end Carl Malvo, and Brennan Storr's face, and give Storr credit. Rather than taking the sack, he finds a way to unload the ball safely, and it gives the Scots a chance to punt. 16 seconds to go, though. You don't want to give Lewisville a chance for a big return and gain all that momentum back right before half.
Yeah, and that's going to be Hardy, who's back to do the return chores this time off of the punt.
If you recall, he was the Wildcat quarterback, so Scots probably would be best served to try to kick the ball wide toward one of the boundaries.
Pat Sauer has been combing the sidelines and the stands. Pat, understand you have a guest?
I've got nose guard Lewis Montgomery's dad, Jeff Montgomery. Jeff, tell us what you feel about, I'm about on the 45-yard line, maybe 5 rows from the top, and the camera can't see me. He's facing the other way. But anyway, I just wanted to get your opinion of the score, which is hopefully going to be the halftime score, and what do you think we're going to see in the second half?
It was a good first half. Let's go to the half, 17-10, figure it out, and come out hard in the second half.
Yeah,
I'm excited about the first half.
All right, defense will be fired up to shut them down in the second half.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Let's go, D. Let's go, Scots.
There you go. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you, Pat Sauer, who is in the stands. He's along the sideline. He's a little bit of everywhere.
Make sure Jeff knows that his son changed numbers, okay? He's not looking at the wrong guy.
Here we go, punting situation for the Scots on 4th down and 10.
Here comes the pressure.
Boy, that's
Good
a
job.
boomer.
Nice punt.
That is a boomer.
Nice punt.
And don't touch
Let it go.
Let's see. 6-5, and the Scots doing exactly that. They just sat there and watched it, and they'll down it with 3 seconds to go. So one play coming up right here for Lewisville, barring a defensive penalty, and the Scots will go in.
Now
barring a touchdown,
give
Scots
credit,
will go
give
in
credit
with the lead.
to Jake Tansey right there. You know, if he 2 steps that or 3 steps that ball's blocked. Real quick little 1-step on the rugby punt, and he gets a huge punt off with pressure in his face.
Scots are going to go with their prevent defense, so to speak. They put 3 defensive backs back at the 35-yard line. That was a 44-yard Highland Park punt. 3 seconds to go. They're going to down it, and that'll take us to halftime. Coming up here in a moment, our halftime show brought to you by Madden Securities. Global capabilities from people you trust. Great first half of football here at Max Goldsmith Stadium in Lewisville, and the Scots have a 17-10 lead on the Fighting Farmers. I invite you to stick around. When we come back, it'll be the Highland Park Marching Band and the Bells performing tonight. We'll bring both of those to you after this.
The customer service is really unparalleled. I've never seen anything like it with any other company.
The emblem, it just says a lot. It means, hey, I bought from Sewell.
They listened to what I had to say and actually cared about my experience.
Every once in a while, you want to be spoiled, and Sewell does that.
It's not just a transaction. That's the thing about Sewell.
I will always drive a Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Determination on the field breeds determination in life. Discipline needed on the court will be the same discipline that gets the job done. That's why Tailwater Capital is a proud supporter of the Highland Park Athletic Program, the winningest athletic program in the state of Texas. 11 Lone Star Cups, 112 state championships, and a commitment to excellence that serves its players for a lifetime. From the locker room to the boardroom, Scots find a way.
In the end, it's not the politician that builds this country. It's the entrepreneur, carrying the world's largest economy on their shoulders, putting Americans back to work. Really, they're the only ones who ever could. We've always been the entrepreneur's bank for the century behind and the century ahead. Vista Bank. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912.
With almost 100 offices across the state of Texas and 50 of them in the DFW area alone, Capital Title is here to serve you. Made by Texans, for Texans. Capital Title is the largest independent title company in the United States. We are Dallas-born, Dallas-based, and family-owned. We support the Highland Park Scots.
We're at Max Goldsmith Stadium on this Friday night, week 2 of Texas high school football, and the Scots with a 17-10 lead. Time for us to direct our attention back down to the field and the Highland Park Marching Band.
Director Band for HIID Darren Jordan. Associate Band Directors are Lisa Stiles and Jody Cunningham. Color Guard Directors are Danny Martinez and Declan Hayes. The Highland Park Scots are 2020 sponsors. Season sponsor, Cheese Crisp. America's favorite Parmesan cheese crisp snack. Section Circle sponsors, Dr. Bartley Mitchell. Property tax funding, Adelta, and Kansas Capital Partners. These sponsorships provide much funding for our award-winning band program, the Highlander Band thanks you for your support. The band directors would like to also thank all of the boosters and parents for their incredible support. The Highlander Band would like to wish the Lewisville Band the best of luck, and we hope you have a great marching season.
Highland Park High School proudly presents the 2022 Highland
And again, we're at halftime here at Max Goldsmith Stadium in Lewisville, and Highland Park leads the Fighting Farmers 17-10. Great performance by the band and by the Bells. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we've got our player profile, and also we'll take a quick look at some of our first half stats. Again, the Scots lead the Farmers 17-10 here at halftime. Conveniently located between Lovers Lane and University Boulevard on Preston Road. Not Just Soccer is locally owned and has served the Highland Park community for youth sports equipment needs since 1989. Whether you're looking for soccer, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, or lacrosse equipment, they carry it all, and they take pride with specialists in each sport, and in many circumstances, you'll be helped by a current Highland Park athlete. Go Scots!
Had a service culture, and I don't think there's anybody in our company that believes otherwise. Everybody understands that our mission is to take care of families.
And I think what makes me the most proud is how many families and lives we have actually touched. We've been so impactful for so many people, and in different ways of their lives, and in ways we couldn't necessarily anticipate.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. The best offense is a good defense. Baker Brothers blocked those surges before they could take it to the house.
That play was electric.
That's right, Jimmy.
Shocking, even?
We get it, Jimmy.
Call now to get this month's electric special.
Highland Park leads this football game. Stafford was under pressure, rolled to the left, threw 43 yards into the end zone for a prayer, and Highland Park comes down with the touchdown. Offside kick to come. That's recovered by Highland. Across the middle of Scottsdale. Touchdown, Highland Park. The game is over. Highland Park has won the state championship.
Our halftime show brought to you by Madden Securities, global capabilities from the people you trust. 17-10, Scots lead Lewisville. We had a great first half of football, and in fact, let's roll the highlights and we'll go back and relive some of those plays from the first half of action. Scots got the ball first and able to move it downfield.
Yeah, there's Jay Cox going around right in. The option, this is where Cox gets upended but makes some nice yardage before he gets there. Let's see what the next play. We're having a little trouble with our monitor, and there's Jackson Heiss with his touchdown. Great high catch, and then tiptoeing down the sideline for the Scots' first score.
Nice throw here by Storr.
And that's, I believe, over there to Luke Herring. Again, we're having trouble seeing all of our highlights.
Then we had the blocked
punt by Adam Rourke. The Scots get set up with great field position off a special teams play. We're in Storr to Schrank over the middle. Lewisville coming with an option of their own.
Scots defense doing a nice job.
Good coverage right there by Adam Rourke over in the left-hand corner of the end zone. Good pursuit right there. Tommy Rossley, some pretty good coverage, not giving Ethan Terrell any place to go.
Well, the catch made right there, but again, Rourke steps up and makes the tackle, limiting Lewisville. And Highland Park gets the ball back, and the wheel route to Schrank, and he was off to the races. Boy, he gets open and gets that football. He has some speed.
And Schrank running deep. You're not going to catch him today.
And again, the highlights from the first half of action in Highland Park in the locker room right now, up 17-10 on the Lewisville Fighting Farmers. A little bit earlier this week, Jim had a chance to catch up with three of our players of the game. Spoke with Spencer Brown and Henry Richter and Whit Basso just to get their thoughts on how the week has gone and what these guys have been up to and their thoughts on the 2022 Highland Park Scots.
Welcome to the 2022 edition of the Highland Park Scots Player Profile. Each week here at halftime, we'll be joined by 3 or 4 of the Scots' key contributors to hear their thoughts on the season and that week's upcoming opponent. Tonight, as the Scots prepare to hit the road for a Week 2 matchup with the Lewisville Farmers, we're joined by 3 of the Scots' key offenses and defensive linemen. They are senior defensive end Spencer Brown, senior offensive guard Whit Basso, and along with junior defensive end Henry Richter. Guys, thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
Well, fellas, last Friday night, Fireman Marcus rolled into Highlander Stadium, I think intent on dealing you guys an opening night loss. And they certainly look to have the firepower to accomplish that goal. But you guys just seem to be on a mission to not let that happen. Marcus will probably be in the playoffs themselves, but I'm just interested, what was the atmosphere all week leading up to your first game? I know it was something you guys were excited about, but just tell us what it was like in practice and what kind of interactions you guys as a team had. Whit, we'll start with you.
Marcus was always the target throughout the summer. We were always hyped up, the whole team, about Marcus. We'd always break out to beat Marcus just because you want to come out firing your first game of the season, start 1-0. Game week was pretty fun, pretty awesome. Whenever we finally got the scouting reports on the defensive linemen, that kind of set in the tone because we knew that there were going to be some pretty big guys, but we weren't worried about it. We started watching some film, and that's when it all set in. Was probably that Tuesday whenever we all started watching film together. Just so crazy energy, definitely more than all summer. It was pretty fun.
Right, Spencer. Although we're on the defensive side of the ball, you guys are flying around more than almost any defense I've seen at Highland Park. What was it like on that side of the ball getting ready for this first game?
Well, one of the things we pride ourselves on is not losing at home. I know at least for our grade that we've never lost at home. And when we were getting ready this week, we knew that they had some big offensive line. They averaged like 280 pounds. So we knew that they were going to be a bit of a threat. But while watching film, we got some good takes on like what their tendencies are. And we had a good game plan going in to exploit it.
Right. And Henry, I think people are interested, you guys prepare all week, work extremely hard. You get in the locker room pregame, you may go warm up, you come back in, get ready to go back out again. What are the kind of things that are said to each other right at that point?
It's really just hyping all your brothers up, getting them going, getting them ready to go to war. Football game's like basically a war. You're going at each other, hitting hard. You're not really letting up on anybody. So you're really encouraging your brothers, telling them you're with them, telling them you're going to stick with them, and just hyping them up, getting ready for the game.
Do you have to walk that fine line between, being hyped up, but not being too hyped up that you can't remember your assignments?
Definitely, for sure. There's definitely a fine line of being way too hyped up and then being just in the middle of it. If you have too much, you'll forget your assignments and blow plays that you've been running all day in practice and that you know what you're supposed to do, and you'll mess up. But if you're just in that middle part, you'll be playing with a lot of energy and a lot of momentum, and you'll be playing very well.
Well, you guys did a great job and came away with a hard-fought 38-24 victory over Flower Marcus. It could have gone either way, but you guys persevered at the end. You ended the last year with a 10-2 record. And I think most of you guys would admit you probably thought you could have gone farther last year. But what did you learn from that experience that you kind of go, I'm going to remember that when it's turn for my senior year for Spencer and Whit, and your junior year for you, Henry? Whit, we'll go back to you.
For me, it was just that last game, seeing all like the senior guys after losing that game, seeing them like really start crying and like seeing like that's when it's over. Like once you lose in playoffs, like you're done. That was one of the big things for me, was like setting. It was like, we need to come out hot. We need to win every single game and play like it's our last, because you never know whenever it is your last. So that's what I would take away.
Good thought. Spencer, how about you?
One of the things like that we've talked about this year is treating every game like a playoff game. And part of the problem with Wakeland is we knew that we were better than them, and we didn't have like the underdog mentality. So when we went into the game, we like knew we were better and we should have won that game. But I think that if we just stay humble and we come into every game like it's a playoff game and we need to win this game, then I think we'll do pretty well.
Right. Henry, how about you? Again, you're the young guy of the group, but you've been around about as long as some of the others. What did you get out of that, or what did you learn?
So I just thought about the entire season, all summer long, how much work we put in to lose a game we definitely shouldn't have lost. And I think I saw how much those seniors put into that season, their senior year, and how much it meant to them. And it really just strived me to go work harder this summer and become the best possible player I could be, is to provide for these seniors this year, to give them my all and not have them go out on a loss.
Well, yeah. And Spencer and Henry, talking to your captain, Adam Rourke, last week, he said, y'all's goal is just to go 1-0 every week. Is that,
right,
the way what y'all talk about all the time?
Yeah.
Sure.
But how, I guess the question is, how do you keep that focus of just the team in front of you and not looking down the road?
So you really can't look.
You just depend on each other to remind you, each of you, that that's how you have to play.
Yeah, so you really can't look back at prior games, how you played that past game. You really got to keep looking forward to every game that you have that next week. So you don't look ahead, you don't look too far behind. You look at that game that week and how you will prepare for that game, how much film you can watch, and you just keep everyone on that same thought and trend of just preparing for one game every week and going 1-0 every week.
Well, I'll tell you, some of the best and most successful Highland Park teams I've seen have been the ones that have been able to do that consistently and just play it one at a time, no matter whether it's the second game of the year or the state championship game. You guys all, as I said, had tremendous games against Marcus. Let's move over to some individual questions. Spencer, we'll start with you. You had numbers that just jumped off the stat sheet at the end of the game. You had 2 solo tackles, 4 assists, 1 tackle for loss, 1 forced fumble, 7 quarterback pressures. Just an incredible first game. What was the key to getting that much pressure on the quarterback from your standpoint?
Well, one of the things that's fun about this year is we have like 4 defensive ends that rotate in. And what's good about that is we get to stay fresh and we get to stay fast off the line, which helps us like get around the edge and get back to the quarterback. I also think that we did a really good job in film this week, like learning tendencies and being able to game plan to exploit like the offensive line's weakness.
Do you, when you watch film, do you get really some good tips on, okay, when that offensive lineman does this, they're going to do this play? Yeah,
exactly. 100%.
Right. Well, Spencer, I've watched you guys do drills all summer and into the start of the season. And it's incredible to watch because you can see a lot of the results of those drills, it looks like, and how you guys play. I know Coach Burt works you guys extremely hard. How do those drills help you be a better player?
Well, every drill that we do is a drill that you will see on the field, like skate drill, getting off blocks, snatching. You look at the practice film and then you look at the game film, and the like something we pride ourselves on is it should look the same. And I think that if you just rep drills and you do it with 100% intensity, it'll show up on the game film.
Right. And you guys probably go at drills harder than any defense I've ever seen. There's nobody loafing. Is that something you talk about as a group?
100%. Every Tuesday we do loaf up downs, and the coaches will count how many loafs we have and we up down on it, because something that our defense prides itself on is no loafs, meaning every 11 hats to the ball, strip attempts, and other stuff like that. But it's just about playing with 100% intensity all the time.
Right.
How about that? Spencer Brown and Henry Richter and Whit Basso. No loafs. Got that? No loafing.
No loafs or up downs. Maybe we should instigate that here. I'll be doing up downs all day.
There you go. We're gonna do that. Man, great first half of football. 17-10 Highland Park leads it. Tell you what, we're going to take our final break of the halftime show, and when we come back, we'll be ready to kick off the third quarter. Highland Park 17, the Fighting Farmers of Lewisville 10, and we're back right after this. Attention Highland Park Scots and SMU fans, football is back at Highlander and on the Hilltop. And so is your favorite neighborhood burger joint, Goff's Hamburgers. It's the same burgers, same fries, hot dogs, and chicken you loved as a kid, but now in a brand new location. Goff's is now on Mockingbird between SMU and Central Expressway. Drop in for that unmistakable charcoal grill taste. Host a private party in the back room, or hang out and enjoy the Highland Park and SMU memories hanging on the walls. Goff's Hamburgers, proud supporter of the Highland Park Scots.
When I think Lexus, I automatically think Sewell.
When I look at a license plate that says just Lexus, I'm like, oh, that's good for you. When I see a Sewell on it, I'm like, you know what I know. I show up and I have my crew with me. They acknowledge me and they acknowledge my children, maybe give them a high five.
You get more than you expect. You get the wow factor at Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and L-certified Lexus vehicles at Sewell Lexus.
Ready to kick off the third quarter of play here at Max Goldsmith Stadium, along with Jim Castello. I'm Russell Scott. Mike McAbee, our statistician, is to my left. Yvonne Zuniga, our in-booth producer, right behind me. Jay Ellis and Pat Sauer down along the sidelines. And Highland Park will kick off to open the third quarter, and it's another high, lofty kick.
13.
And it's going to be fielded down around the 13-yard line, brought back out to the 25 and to the 30. And to the 31-yard line, and that's where the Fighting Farmers will begin their first possession of the second half.
And Russell, that's Barrett Denton getting down there to make that play, along with Connor Cornell, two guys that have been on the coverage team and been doing a tremendous job over there on the right side. Great coverage to hold Lewisville to the 31-yard line.
Ethan Terrell at the quarterback position for Lewisville. First half.
10 for 18.
He was 10 of 18 for 90 yards and 1 touchdown. He's got 3 receivers, and the throw's going to come to the near side. That's going to be caught at the 31 and moved out almost to the 40-yard line. Not quite, though. On the reception there is Philip Patterson. That's going to go for 6 yards. That's his first catch of the night.
Yep.
Hunter Thornton has checked in at an outside linebacker position.
And once again, the guys up front, Carlson, Montgomery, and it looks like Spencer Brown. Looks like they're standing at those trios coming in and out.
Ellison in at running back. He'll stand just to the left of Terrell for the Fighting Farmers. Play action and the throw into the flat, and that is just simply dropped. Lamar Kirby thinking about where he's going to run before he caught the pass, and it's dropped. Second down.
Might have been thinking about number 9 behind him coming up and make a hit, Adam Rourke.
I said second. It's actually third down now for the Fighting Farmers. Lewisville 2 for 6 on third down conversions.
Let's see if the Farmers stay in that tackle over look. No, it looks like a normal tight end here. Stack trips to the left, tight end right.
Here we go again out of the shotgun. Terrell is going to hand it off. This is Ellison right up the middle, and he's very close to that first down marker. Looks like he got it. Ramey gets in there to make the tackle for the Scots, but it is going to be enough for a first down.
Carl Williams in there as well. First down.
We're going to go to the far side. I believe Pat Sauer has a former Highland Park
head coach
and athletic director standing by with him.
And quarterback.
Hey, guys, I got former Scots quarterback, former Scots head coach, former Scots athletic director Scott Smith here, and the dad of one of our coaches. Scott, what's your favorite part of everything I just said?
Oh, just tonight. I tell you what, watching these kids play and just, having gone here and everything, it's just such a special place. I just love it. Just love it.
Yeah, well, we've sure enjoyed watching you coach and actually kind of at a distance watching your kids play. And now it's exciting to have your son here as one of our coaches. And I hope we get to see you at a lot more games. And thanks for coming out tonight, Scott.
Yeah, fantastic. Enjoyed visiting with you. And, we're planning to come to everyone we make.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Oh, almost fumble it.
Here we go on a second down, and Ellison breaks free. Ellison is wide open, and this is a foot race to the end zone. And Viron Ellison will take it into the end zone, 57 yards. And another touchdown within an extra point of tying this football game.
Well, Ellison, they run a zone dive from right to left, and Ellison almost fumbles the ball in the backfield. I don't know if we see the replay on this, but the ball bounces up and he grabs it and sees a crease and just takes it.
Boy, and he's got some speed. He's got 4.5 speed. He's only a junior. 6 foot, 180 pounds, but he can move.
And watch out for the fake here, or the 2-point play.
Looks like they're going to go for they now going to move back into a traditional PAT, and they convert, tie the game at 17-17 on the opening drive of the second half. Fighting Farmers get into the end zone very quickly.
Well, not what you want if you're Highland Park is let Lewisville come back and steal the momentum back early third quarter. So Scott's offense needs to go to work.
Both games, Mike McAbee reminds us, both games this week and last week, Scots gave up an opening drive touchdown to start the second half. And this one ties the game 17-17.
The caveat to that is both these teams, Marcus and Lewisville, are quite good.
Exactly.
They got firepower. Marcus has got it throwing the ball, and obviously Lewisville running the ball.
And the other thing we talked about this in our pregame show is this is the last game Highland Park's going to play before they get into district. Right. They've got a 9-team district this year, so only 2 non-district games.
Real quickly, here's a scoring drive for Lewisville. They go 69 yards in 5 plays, take a minute 43 off the clock. The touchdown, 57-yard ramble by Viron Ellison. The extra point is good, and with 10-17 to go in the third quarter, we're tied up at 17.
That drive recap brought to you by Steward Partners Global Advisory, located right here in Dallas, Texas, and a proud supporter of the Highland Park Scots. Ellison now with 93 yards on 10 carries, thanks to that long touchdown. They've only got 101 total team rushing yards, and he's got 91 of those. Here's Freddie Hoya. He's got it teed up, steps into it. Highland Park with 3 deep, and a fair catch is going to be called and made down at the 5-yard line. They'll bring it out to the 25, and that was Grayson Schrank. So the Scots, let's see what they're going to do right here. One thing we always talk about week in and week out about Highland Park is we're not sure what goes on in the locker room at halftime, but they always seem to make the right adjustments.
Right. There's adjustments being made. There's a lot of discussion between coaches. A lot of times people think it's just the coaches over there talking amongst themselves. More times than not, the coaches are talking to the players going, what do you think will work? What do you see as something that can help us?
Big Andrew Marolis out over the football, snaps it back. Store with 2 in the backfield, gives to Jay Cox. Cox with a nice stiff arm, tries to get around the right corner. It's going to be flushed out of bounds, but not before he has a nice little run and brings up second and short.
And we saw that last week, Russell, 2 or 3 stiff arms, which again, you just don't see a lot of anymore. But Jay Cox obviously feels very comfortable with them. Right there, he pushes off the Lewisville cornerback and is able to turn the corner for 6 yards.
We've got a player down for Lewisville, and we hope he's going to be okay. Our injury updates all season long are going to be brought to you by Dr. Field Scoville. Dr. Scoville's over at the Carroll Clinic, orthopedic surgeon, fellowship trained in sports medicine.
That may be Garon Gibbs, one of the inside linebackers. Let's see.
He's going to be helped up right there.
No, that's 44. That is
Mason Johnson.
Mason Johnson, and that's going to be a loss for Lewisville because he's clearly their best defensive lineman.
Let's take
It's
a quick
the Baker
timeout.
Brothers replay. The best offense is a good defense. Baker Brothers block those surges before they get taken to the house.
That play was electric.
That's right, Jimmy.
Shocking, even.
We get it, Jimmy.
Call now to get this month's electric special.
Second down and 4 now for Highland Park from their own 31-yard line. Again, two-back set for the Scots. Storr is going to go long right side, has the receiver, and it's going to be incomplete.
Yes,
flag is thrown, and Highland Park's going to get 15 yards. Jackson Heiss, the intended receiver, he was interfered with, and the flag was thrown, and the Scots will get a big first down out of this.
Yep, that's a 15-yard penalty right there, but Jackson Heiss was going to come down with it, and the defender just threw his arms up, desperately trying to keep him from catching the ball.
There's Arthur Williams, our referee.
They're going to call.
Well, we've got
illegal,
offsetting penalties.
Yep, they're going to call illegal receiver downfield against Highland Park, and interference against Lewisville, which will offset. I didn't catch the downfield.
I did not see that either. Well, all is said and done, and that's going to bring us back to a second down and 4.
Yep.
There you got to look at it right there. Heiss went up trying to make a big catch. Replays this hour are being brought to you by Harris Orthodontics. Again, two-set backfield. Jay Cox has some running room, and he's going to get hit by. Well, before he could get to the first down marker, he was hit and dragged down. Coming in there to make the tackle was Mark Cooper, the inside linebacker, whose name we have called a number of times tonight.
The zone dive right there to the right, but then Cox bends it back to the left. He gets a good block by Lawson Petty and Jake Watts on the way on the left side to cave it down, but nobody picks up the backer.
Third down for Highland Park. 2 for 5 on third down conversions tonight.
Once secondary's up tight.
Here we go. Jay Cox, first down, Highland Park.
Yes,
boy,
sir.
He got a big crease. Whit Basso, Robert Sweeney, Andrew Morellis, all in there.
Watts
opening up that seam.
That's Jake Watts leading the way right there on the power play. Kick out by the lead blocker. Wilson Axley gets a good block. Watts and Axley make that happen.
First down for Highland Park. That's their 7th of the game. Farmers have 10 first downs. We've got a 17-17 tie ball game.
5-man front.
Throw across the middle and incomplete. Jaden Hardy defending on the play back there.
Second down. Scott's up front offensive line did a good job cutting down the defenders right there. Coach Allen had success on that sprint out not long ago. See if he comes back to it.
See the coaches there signaling in the play. Again, 3 different assistant coaches, all 3 with different hats. One of them's got the real signal, the other 2 are dummy signals. Option play, they're going to pitch it back. Here's Axley trying to get around the corner. Turns the corner, fumbles the ball, but it goes out of bounds. Highland Park will have it. He was knocked down at the 41-yard line. Will they give him the 41, or are they going to move this forward?
Yeah, I believe they're going to say where he went down. 41-yard line. Let's see if we can see our
It's going to be about a 4-yard pickup.
Yeah, good block out there. Couldn't see it. It might have been Cox on the lead block.
Luke Herring was out there as well.
Second down, excuse me.
Third down.
It's third down, excuse me.
Axley on his first carry of the night. Here's swing pass out of the backfield to Axley. A little shake and bake trying to get away from that defensive back. That was Hardy who came in. We may have had a face mask on the penalty.
There's a flag down over there. Looked like a face mask. Yep, Scots are Wilson Axley's telling Brennan Storr to calm down. a little bit. They got it. They got the call.
It's Arthur Williams with the official call there, our referee tonight.
Here we go. Mark it off.
That's going to be 15 yards and another Highland Park first down. Moves the ball into
That's a huge
Farmer territory.
Huge penalty for the Scots right there and against Lewisville. Lewisville had stopped the Highland Park, would have brought up a fourth down, but instead it's first down, keep the drive alive.
Ball's going to be put down at the 44-yard line. Storr, delay handoff. Here's Cox trying to get around. He gets tangled up in there, and that's Ryan Sewell, who finally made the tackle. It's only going to be about a 2-yard pickup, yard and a half.
Brennan Storr takes a snap and fakes a pass and then comes down and runs that delayed draw. And again, Basso looks like he's got his man blocked, but Cox cuts outside and Sewell's able to make the play.
Second down and 9 now, Highland Park. 3 wide receivers. Here we go. Give it to Jay Cox. He's going to get hit in the backfield.
He turns the corner.
And turns the corner. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. Mark Cooper is going to get credit for the tackle as he shoved him out of bounds on the far side. That's going to be a loss on the play.
One of the things that makes Lewisville so tough is they're so stout inside, hard to run on. Great defensive linemen, but then they got linebackers that can fly to the ball east and west. And that's a pretty lethal combination, and you're seeing it tonight from Lewisville.
Highland Park 3 for 7, converting third downs tonight. 3rd and 11. Swing the pass out of the backfield to Jay Cox. He made one man miss, gets to the 40, 35. He's very close to that first down marker. He's past it. 4 yards past it, as a matter of fact, all the way down to the 30-yard line, move the chains.
And there you see why Jay Cox is so valuable. If you want to rush Brennan Storr, fine. You think you can get there fast, we're going to float it over the top to the left and let Jay Cox, if you can make one man miss, you pick up big yardage, and Jay Cox does just that.
First down, Highland Park after the 15-yard pass completion. Scots with the ball spotted, left hash mark. 2 wide receivers to the top of your screen. That's Herring all alone at the bottom of your screen. Handoff. Axley bobbled it. By the time he got a handle on it, he was hit right about the line of scrimmage. He's not going to get any farther than that. 6:32 to play here in the third quarter.
Scott's got a nice drive going here. They keep it alive, keep it going.
This will be the 11th play of the drive coming up right here. They've gone 45 yards so far.
Coach Allen really likes in tough situations to go with 2 backs and run something he's very comfortable with.
Second down and 10. Storr wants to throw, looks downfield, goes long. Herring is down there, and it's a long incomplete pass. Defending on the playback there, Kentrell Sorellis. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10.
Can't be thrown much better than Brennan Storr threw it right here. Wasn't underthrown, only the receiver can go up and actually pull it down. We've seen Herring do that before.
Replays this hour again brought to you by Harris Orthodontics. They know how to tackle crooked teeth. That's Harris Orthodontics. Storr again wants to throw. Has a receiver, and it is caught. Grayson Schrank, but there's a flag on the near side.
What a catch right there.
And a great catch by the 5'10", 165-pound senior.
And not only a great catch, Brennan Storr getting pressure in his face on the sprint out. Can't secure the right side of the line, and he puts the ball where only Grayson Schrank could catch it with his speed.
There's going to be a chop block penalty against Highland Park. That's going to wipe out the nice catch by Schrank.
Is it a chop block? Usually what that means is they're engaged with one man and another man comes late, low, and that's always a problem on a sprint out because you got one guy engaged in chasing, you got somebody coming to help. And it can quickly evolve into a chop.
Moves the ball all the way back to the 45-yard line. Highland Park still in Farmer territory. Scots are going to go back to their 4 wideout formation.
3rd and 24, thereabouts.
They've got to get down to the 20-yard line for a first.
Scots had success on screen pass in the past here.
Morales out over the football.
Both teams making adjustments, shouting to teammates.
Still have not started the play clock yet. Now they get it started. Scots don't use much of it. Store to throw. He's going to go long. He's got a receiver wide open. Luke Herring's got it. First down, Highland Park, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Luke Herring. 45-yard pass and catch.
Boy, Storr stood in there. He had pressure coming from both the right and the left side. He stands in there like a man and throws it up. And Herring somehow is behind the entire Lewisville secondary on 3rd and 24. I'm not quite sure how that happens, but I'm tickled to death the Scots found it.
That touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions, supporting Highland Park football since 1999. The PAT, brought to you by Brett Kennedy and Peter McGuire with Kensington Vanguard, is good. And it's back to a 7-point lead for the Scots at 24-17. And we've got another special guest, Pat Sauer, on the far side.
Actually, I don't have a guest. I just have an opinion of what happened on that play. They had a nickel package in there. They had a single high safety, and that high safety got sucked over to the other side of the field when Herring hit the post route. The outside DB that was covering him had outside leverage, thinking he had inside help, and he didn't. So it was a really nice throw, nice pickup by Brendan Storr, and great catch. And to get the ball in the end zone was incredible there.
Yep. Herring reaching hard about the 3-yard line, diving for the end zone, gets the Scots back on the board and take the lead. And we talked about it in pregame, counterpunch. You know, the Scots are really good at that. We saw it last week against Marcus. Marcus came back, ties them. Scots immediately counterpunch. They do it again here right tonight.
5:42 to play here in the 3rd quarter, and the Scots have retaken the lead.
Listen to this drive. Highland Park goes 75 yards in 12 plays, taking 4 minutes, 35 seconds off the clock. Touchdown, a 45-yard pass from Brendan Storr to Luke Herring. From Brendan Storr to Luke Herring. The extra point is good by Tansey. And with 5:42 to go in the 3rd quarter, it's Highland Park 24, Lewisville 17.
Our Davidson Bogle kickoff coming up right here. Baines puts a foot into it. Again, it's a high end-over-end kick. No fair catch called. It's going to be taken at the 9-yard line and brought back out all the way across the 30-yard line. And that's where the Fighting Farmers will set up their offense. By the way, no rain tonight. That's the good news. All the rain got out of the Metroplex earlier today. And humid tonight, 60% humidity. Our weather brought to you tonight by New York Subs, a winning tradition since 1974. And you can now even get Peggy Sue's Barbecue to go, as Peggy Sue's Market is located inside New York Subs.
And Russell Williams Suarez down with good coverage on that kickoff cover team over on the right side. Here we go.
First down for the Farmers. Scored on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Pass out into the flat is caught, but no place to run. Out there defending for Highland Park and making that tackle really quick was Adam Rourke.
Adam Rourke saying, every time you come this way, I'm going to pop you, so get ready. In the front now, Judge Ellis, Hummel, Richter. 3 down linemen for the Scots taking on the big offensive line.
2nd down and 5. This time 4 wide receivers in the pattern, but they're going to give it. Ellison finds another seam, and he's going to get caught and dragged down by William White, the outside linebacker. I believe that was Xavier Lewis actually on the carry, not Ellison. Xavier Lewis doing a nice job of coming in and filling in for Ellison, who we've seen play both offense and defense tonight. 10 yards, another first down for the Farmers.
Get the feeling this is going to come down to the wire. This is
whoever's got the ball last.
Whoever's got the ball last, and whoever can keep counter punching.
2 receivers wide to the right this time for the Farmers. That's the bottom of your screen. Play action. They'll throw across the middle. It's
ball's
dropped.
loose. Dropped.
There's Adam Rourke again. in there. Dotrieve was in there as well. Lamar Kirby, the intended receiver.
You know, Lewisville's throwing much more than I thought they would at this point in the game. You know, it's quite obvious what their strength is, but they're going to, I guess, to keep it balanced, they're going to keep trying to throw.
They've run the ball 15 times. They've thrown it 12 tonight, so a lot more balance than anybody expected because, you know, Coach Allen even said, I expect them to play ball control, run behind that big offensive line, who, if you're just joining us, they've got about 3 that are 300 pounds or more. Delay the handoff.
Nice
Finally,
job.
they give it up, and
That's
Lewis
Judge Ellis right there
will carry it all the way out to the 37-yard line. Excuse me, the
defensive end Judge Ellis
line.
Defeats his blocker out in front. Muscles with him, falls back inside, is able to make the play inside from outside in.
This will be 3rd down. Lewisville 3 for 7, converting on 3rd downs tonight.
Tough situation here because 3rd and 4 is definitely a running situation possible for Lewisville. They're still going with the tight end to the right.
It's going to be Ellison in the backfield. Fake the handoff to him, throw, and it's knocked down, almost intercepted. Beautiful play made right there by Jack Morris.
And Jack Morris, you might remember his brother Sam was a heck of an offensive lineman. There's finally get a look at the replay, but Jack Morris with the cramps last week got a shot to play as a sophomore, and the coaches are impressed with what he showed.
Cormac Carroll has also come in and an inside linebacker for Highland Park. On 4th down, looks like the Farmers will go for it. They turn, look to the sideline as plays being signaled in. 6 seconds on the play clock.
They're going to take a timeout.
They're probably going to take a timeout. That's exactly what Coach Michael Odell will do. We talked a little bit about Coach Odell in the first half. The last time Lewisville won a state championship was 1996. He was their starting quarterback.
Which is one of the best qualifications for getting this job, I would think.
Absolutely.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. Team Baker Brothers
when
really
they ran
stopped
the
that running
wishbone
toilet in its tracks. No more running toilet.
Now that's what I call a bathroom break.
Okay, Jimmy.
Call now to get this month's great deal from Baker Brothers.
Yeah, the wishbone, if you had 3 or 4 passes a game, that was a lot.
Jay Ellis saying that's no fun for cornerbacks.
That's a corner playing a linebacker. When try to come up and take that option on.
Receiver, but when you start getting that arc block from either a tight end or from a halfback, that's hard work.
Right.
Well, you remember that game was, and again, this is 96. Wishbone offense, they combined for 92 points.
Wow.
At the time, that was the record.
Which is unbelievable for a non-passing offense. All right, 4th down for Lewisville. Let's see if the Scots can make a stand. Stacks receivers over here to the right.
Lewisville 1 for 2 on 4th downs. Highland Park blocked a punt in the first half. Quarterback's going to keep it on a draw, and he's got the first down. He gets hit right at the 32-yard line and dragged down by Henry Richter, but not before he picked up the first down. Cormac Carroll was in there as well, and a 10-yard run by the quarterback for Lewisville.
Well, that's a good call by Lewisville coaches. Again, some wrestling going on inside, but Ethan Terrell is a formidable threat running the ball, and he delayed just enough for it to open up.
On 1st down, give it to Ellison, and again, he finds the crease, and he'll pick up 9 yards. Carl Williams finally made the tackle. But I tell you what, when he finds a seam or a crease, he's able to take advantage of it.
Well, if the backer doesn't step up fast to fill the hole, there's a gaping hole inside.
Lewisville with 200 we got a penalty.
Lewisville
flags thrown.
And procedure.
Lewisville has 237 yards of total offense. Highland Park has 253 yards of total offense. Highland Park's run 35 offensive plays. The Farmers have had 41. That was Xavier Lewis you saw hopping off the field right there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Xavier Lewis was coming in.
Ellison.
Ellison. Yep.
2:27. Play in the third quarter.
Here we go.
Second down and 6.
Who can make a play? Who can make a play?
Got a whistle. And the play clock, did they call the timeout in time or not?
Now,
Yes.
Coach Odell's upset because you never like to use a timeout in that situation. After a penalty.
2:15 to play here in the third quarter. Again, the Highland Park Scots up 24-17. This is only the second possession for Lewisville here in the third quarter. Highland Park's only had the ball once here in the third quarter.
Well, Coach Allen was prophetic when he said, you know, they're going to try to hold on to the ball and keep us off the field.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. Team Baker Brothers scored a big one with its touchdown tune-up.
That unit sure has some cool moves.
I'll admit it, Jimmy. That's one super shuffle.
Free smart home thermostat with a new Lennox AC system.
Okay, they've talked about it after the timeout. That leaves Lewisville with only one timeout for the next 14 minutes of this game. Second down. Turn, hand it off. Lewis goes right up the middle, and he's got the first down and more. Lewis right up the middle, all the way down to the 18-yard line.
Well, that Carl Williams makes the play, but Lewisville runs a little fold block inside. They kick out with their guard. They tug underneath with the tackle, and he gets up on the backer to the second level and opens up a huge hole for Xavier Lewis.
Ball's going to be put down on the 17-yard line. Here's Lewis again. This time he gets hit in the backfield. Slowed down tremendously by Jack Morse. That's going to be a no-gainer. Hunter Thornton came over and finished off the tackle. Second down and 10 now for Lewisville.
Cormac Carroll and Jack Morse manning the inside backers right now. Coaches have faith in them.
Nice look at it. Lewis, by the way, now 28 yards on 4 carries, averaging 7 yards per carry. Back to 4 wide receivers. They'll throw to the lone wide receiver off on the right side who made the catch, gets taken down. And that's William White who tackled Jenkins.
Inside out coverage. Lewisville just taking little dink routes, little dump routes, but who come up with, you know, it looks like a short route for a very short game, but you look and when it's all said and done, it's 8 or 9 yards. And Lewisville's able to keep drives alive all night long doing that.
11th play of the drive for the Farmers. They've got 3rd and 1. Ball's put down at the 8-yard line. And that's going to be Xavier Ellison who's back into the game. He'll take the handoff. And I'm not sure if he got the first down or not. He may be short.
Not. It's Thornton, Morse, and Williams in on the play, and it may not be a first down. Let's see.
Haven't gotten a call from the official yet.
Based on where the ball is being placed, does not look like a first down. They may be going to measure.
Looks like it's going to be 4th down. That's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. So we will have 4th and inches coming up for Lewisville when we get the fourth quarter underway in just a moment. Stay with us. Scots 24, Lewisville 17, headed to the fourth quarter next.
The customer service is really unparalleled. I've never seen anything like it with any other company.
The emblem, it just says a lot. It means, hey, I bought from Sewell.
They listened to what I had to say and actually cared about my experience.
Every once in a while, you want to be spoiled, and Sewell does that.
It's not just a transaction. That's the thing about Sewell.
I will always drive a Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Well, we were expecting a close game, and it is close, just like that measurement is right there. It's going to be 4th down and inches coming up right here for Lewisville.
Obviously, the Scots have got to find a way to get penetration if they're going to stop Lewisville on 4th down. Whether it be underneath some of those big bodies or out from the outside in. But I can't imagine Lewisville not going for it here.
Both teams on the sideline talking to their respective coaches. Don't forget, coming up after the game, we'll visit with some of our players of the game from the Highland Park Scots. We'll hear from head coach Randy Allen as well. Mike McAbee will have our stats, and we'll go through some of the highlights as well. Let's go to the sideline. Pat Sauer, you got a guest with you?
Yeah, I've got Tim and Ashley Heiss here, Jackson Heiss's parents, number 3. And just want to get a hot opinion of what the Scots need to do here in the 4th quarter to close out this game. What do you think, Tim?
Hey, we just got to stop them here, and then we'll put about 14 more up on the 4th quarter, and we'll take them a win.
That'll feel pretty good. And where does he get his speed from? Is that from mom or dad?
Oh, no, neither.
Okay, well, I've also got his girlfriend, Ava, here, and she's heading off to Stanford in a couple of weeks. Ava, what are your thoughts?
They're looking great. Go Scots, always.
There you go. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Here we go. 4th and less than 1 for Lewisville. Highland Park trying to hold them.
And my question is, since they didn't measure it to mark it down here, is it marked correctly? They just estimated.
Here we go on 4th down. That's going to be Byron Ellison who'll stand behind Ethan Terrell. He's the quarterback. He's going to go under center. He'll push forward.
He didn't.
I don't think he got it.
I don't think he did. There was no movement.
I don't think he got it. The defensive line stood him up, and that thing did not move whatsoever. This is going to depend on where the official puts the ball.
Was that Hummel or Montgomery inside? Because whoever it was stood up the center. Was it Montgomery?
Highland Park thinks they have held. Lewisville thinks they have gotten it.
We need to see a replay on that because, boy, that was a great job by the interior of the Scots.
Highland Park held. The Scots get the ball back. How about that?
Oh, let's see the replay.
Second week in a row, we've seen the defense hold.
Hard pinch by the entire defensive front. And, boy, did you see the quarterback, Ethan Terrell's back buckle when he tried to hit the center from behind? Tremendous job by the Scots front line defense and linebackers. Chip Burt, coach of the defensive line's got to be ecstatic over there. Watch Ethan Terrell just get stuffed.
Looked like the ball may have been fumbled at the snap. I'm not sure. Our replays here in the 4th quarter are brought to you by The Rustic. Texas ingredients, Texas sounds, Texas soul. I was over at The Rustic just last week.
Scots
highly recommend it.
Scots need to get out of the hole here now.
Here we go.
Going.
Scots with the ball. They're going to hand it off. Jay Cox dances his way to a first down. He gets all the way out across the 20, near the 25-yard line before he's going to be taken down.
Looked like the little dart play where the Scots faked the zone dive to the right, and then the running back darts back to the left. And that was a wide open hole right there for Jay Cox. Watts and Lawson along with Maroulis over on the left side of that offensive line. Look at the block by Basso.
There's a great look at that block. We've got a Lewisville player who's down, and while he is down, let's go ahead and take it to a commercial again. 4th quarter action. Your Scots are up by 7 on Lewisville.
Determination on the field breeds determination in life. Discipline needed on the court will be the same discipline that gets the job done. That's why Tailwater Capital is a proud supporter of the Highland Park Athletic Program, the winningest athletic program in the state of Texas. 11 Lone Star Cups, 112 state championships, and a commitment to excellence that serves its players for a lifetime. From the locker room to the boardroom, Scots find a way.
But I tell you what, that was a big stop by the Highland Park defense just a moment ago. We're going to get another look at it right here because They just didn't let the ball go. All it had to move was about 4 inches.
I'm telling you, they stood up the center because Ethan Terrell had nowhere to go. It was like he ran into a brick wall.
Here we go. Highland Park with the ball on a first down. Jay Cox got him out of trouble, got it all the way out near the 25-yard line.
Got a left-hand stabber, outside dog blitz coming. Lawson Petty pointing it out.
Here we go. Storr calls for the ball. Takes the snap, straight drop back. Across the middle, has a receiver. Interference going to be called right there. The pass is incomplete, intended for Schrank. And Highland Park will get another 15 yards tacked on and another first down.
And again, give credit to Brendan Storr. You know, we're taking for granted the fact that he's putting the ball right where it needs to be over and over and over again. And he did it right there. I mean, there was interference, kept Schrank from catching it. But if it had been covered legally, Schrank catches the ball for a big gain. And give credit to Brendan Storr for getting the ball there. He has been razor sharp the last 2 weeks.
He had 288 yards and 3 touchdowns last week. Last year threw for 2,500 yards. This is going to be the 12th first down for Highland Park. This one coming via penalty from their 40. Storr again flushed out. He's just going to lob this one downfield. Nice catch made right there by Schrank. And picks up 8 yards on the literal pitch and catch.
That was like a touch football game in the backyard. He said, they're scrambling after me. You go over there. I'm going to dink it over the top. You catch it, Schrank. Get what you can get.
I'll throw it right over the hedge.
Yep.
You just get over there.
Exactly. Do what you have to do to be successful.
Here we go. Second and short now for the Scots. 3 receivers to the top of your screen. It's going to be Heiss to the lower side of your screen. Watts, Maroulis, and Basso. Petty and Sweeney are at the tackles.
Here we go.
Option play comes out near side. And Jay Cox has the first down, a little bit extra.
Heiss
he gets all the way down to the 46-yard line. Heiss had a beautiful block there for the Scots.
Yeah, one of the things you have to do to run that option, if you're not going to have a lead blocker, which the Scots did not, you've got to get the good block by your wideout. And Jackson Heiss, for all he's done catching the ball, he's a blocker too, and he's out there pinning his man to the sideline, taking him out of bounds, allowing Cox room to run.
First down, Highland Park. They moved it across the 50 into Lewisville territory. Out of the gun again, Storr gathers himself in. He's going to go long, has a receiver. That's Herring.
Oh,
he
yeah.
Caught it. First down inside
the
15-yard line. Luke Herring on the reception.
And you can't cover it any better than Brian Perez did right there. He's in coverage for Lewisville, but once again, Brennan Storr puts the ball exactly on the right spot. Herring comes up with a 34-yard gain, and the Scots are in business just outside the 10-yard line.
Beautiful catch right there by Luke Herring, and a nice throw by the quarterback as they combine yet again. Scots have now gone over 300 yards of total offense with that play. First down for the Scots. 2 wide receivers to either side, lob into the end zone, turn around, catch, touchdown. Grayson Schrank made that look awful easy.
Boy, Grayson Schrank is out there, and he's looking over his inside shoulder about 10 yards from the sideline in the end zone. Storr intentionally throws it back over the outside shoulder so Schrank can adjust outside. The defender has no chance of making that play. Brennan Storr to Grayson Schrank look like they've been playing together their whole lives, which they probably have.
Touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Productions and Promotions. Bob Lilly, supporting the Scots since 1999. The extra point is up and on the way, and it is good.
Let's see if we get that replay. We can see Schrank. There's the snap to Storr. He just lays. We lost our feed again, but Grayson Schrank again looking over his inside shoulder, then reversing back to his outside. It just is a tremendous play, and I'll be anxious to know. I'm surely that was the way it was designed.
Tell you what, let's go down to Jay Ellis. Jay, you were talking to us before the touchdown just a few minutes ago. had something about the Scots helmets?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you'll notice on the back, they have a yellow sticker that says JW, and it's in honor and memory of one of Lawson Petty's most loyal fans, lifetime fans. His father's stepfather, Joe Warren, who used to coach at the middle school at Highland Park years ago, passed away a little over a week ago, and the team is paying tribute to former coach Joe Warren and, of course, Lawson Petty's biggest fan. So it's just great to see the team come together and support Lawson and his family. And as we know, that's what this team is. Highland Park football is a family.
Our sideline reports tonight, as always, brought to you by Willow Bend Mortgage. Willow Bend Mortgage, your home for a way better mortgage.
Russell, talking about a potential game-winning drive. The Scots, after stopping Lewisville on 4th down inside the 10, go 92 yards in 5 plays, take a minute 48 off the clock. The touchdown, a 12-yard pass from Brennan Storer to Grayson Schrank. Tansey adds the extra point. And with 10:01 left in the 4th quarter, it's Highland Park 31, Lewisville 17.
Another sky kick for Highland Park, and no fair catch. Oh, he did call a fair catch. That's Vyron Ellison, and Highland Park kick coverage team awful excited about that.
Well, they've been told whether if this is a fair catch, you go down and you go to the goal line one way or another, and so they were not going to get yelled at when they came to the sideline for not doing what they're supposed to do.
They'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. Again, the Scots have now expanded their lead out to 2 touchdowns. First time they've had a lead this big tonight. Each time they've jumped out to a lead, the Farmers have answered. Now the Scots trying to see if they can put this one away.
Well, the Scots, for the first time, as you say, get a 14-point lead. It's going to put Lewisville in a different situation now.
Terrell is 13 of 21 for 210 yards. His pass right here is complete. And Adam Rourke with the tackle right there. I believe we've got a flag. It's going to be Jaden Hardy who made the catch, but there is a flag on the play.
So we got a receiver downfield.
I've not seen the call as of yet.
Officials stay far apart. You know, normally you see officials run together and converse, and we're not seeing that tonight. Penalty against Lewisville, though. Did you see the call?
I haven't seen it. There's 4 of us here in the booth. None of us have seen it.
Okay, maybe lineman downfield will be a good bet.
It's going to be a first down and 15 situation after the penalty is marked off. They'll start from their 20-yard line. Lewisville will fake the handoff. They'll throw to the backside. That's going to be caught by the receiver who'll bring it out almost for a first down. That's going to be a 14-yard pickup. On the reception down there, it's going to be Lamar Kirby.
And that's Giese and White, Williams as well.
Up-tempo offense going right here for Lewisville. Snap it, fake the handoff, same play again. They're going to go back out to Kirby. He caught it, and this is going to be a first down.
Once again, it's Giese and White. Jay Ellis said same law firm makes the tackle right there. Giese and White and Williams.
Move the chains again.
And we laugh, may come true someday.
Hey, we're doing this in about 20 years, and we might be reading that commercial. We're going to go down to the sideline coming up here momentarily. They're going to hand it off. Ellison goes up the middle, breaks a tackle. He's got another seam, and he's got another first down as he goes all the way out to the 46-yard line. Adam Rourke is in there along with William White. And let's check in real quickly down along the sideline.
Hey, guys, I've got the Bell Lieutenants here. This one right here is Shelby Sides. You know Jack Sides. He's coaching with the Scots and played here and at the Naval Academy. Yeah, this is Shelby. Say hi.
Hi.
West Point. West Point.
Oh, West Point. My bad. Thank you, Jim. And I've got a spokesman here. What do you think about the game?
I think as a team, we really thrive in the second half. The boys really know when they need to step it up and bring it, and that's what they're doing. They're playing great.
And up above us is all the bells up there. Bells wave to the camera. There you go. Thanks a lot, guys. Back to you.
Second down and 8 now. Ball's going to be put down at the 44-yard line. Lewisville trying to go up-tempo offense right here.
Backers.
And there's the throw. That's Kirby who made the catch. Kirby's going to be taken down immediately as Giese is there. Williams is there as well. William White got out to the quarterback and I'm shaking him up just a little bit with a welcome to Highland Park football hit.
You know, Scots can't relax here. I mean,
that's Kirby who's coming off the field. I thought he was coming off.
No, he's limped off before.
Is that a cramp maybe?
Possibly so. Scots can't relax here. 2-touchdown lead you'd think would be safe with 7:22 to go, but Lewisville is explosive.
Injury updates are brought to you by Dr. Field Scoville. Dr. Scoville at the Carroll Clinic, orthopedic surgeon, fellowship trained in sports medicine. Second week in a row, we've had a relatively turnover-free football game. Yeah. Our turnovers throughout the season are brought to you by Dr. John Heinrich, Hilltop Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Yeah.
Our thanks to them for being a part of the Highland Park football telecasts. 7:22 to play, 31-17. Highland Park up.
So what is Brennan store tonight? I'm interested.
You'll have to ask Mike McAbee.
It
just takes him a while to get to it sometimes. 16 of 25 for 289 yards. 1 yard more than he threw for last week. 4 touchdown throws to go with his 3 that he had last week.
Inconsistent. Now that looks like more of a bigger injury to number 9.
It's Kirby.
That's Kirby.
Being helped off the field. 7:22 to play. Third down, short yardage now for.
Got to be careful down
Lewisville.
Here to the bottom. Single coverage. Looks like Adam Rourke. And number 1.
That's
Jaden Hardy.
They're going to hand it off, and skimming across right between the tackle and guard is Byron Ellison. He's got the first down. They'll move the chains yet again.
Byron Ellison limps around a little bit, but then he goes hard when it's time to carry the ball.
And again, Highland Park's got a 2-touchdown lead, so even if Lewisville would get into the end zone, they've still got to score another time just to tie it.
Richter, Montgomery, Ellison in defensive front. Keep rolling those guys in and out.
By the way, Ellison now over 100 yards rushing for Lewisville. And quarterback
it's a hold.
Wants to throw it. He'll roll around the right side. He's going to get shoved out of bounds right about the line of scrimmage.
I tell you, I don't know how the official misses that, but William White is coming with a rush and is literally just wrapped up by the offensive tackle right in front of the linesman, but they don't see it.
Believe the Highland Park coaches who are in the booth next to us saw that one. There was a lot of yelling and screaming.
And I don't blame them.
Pounding the desktop. Judge Ellis down right now for Highland Park. He's being stretched out. It looks like he's got a cramp in his leg.
The judge had him pretty bad. I talked to Judge this week, and he said, usually you can come back in a play or two, but he said his tightened up, and he couldn't come back the rest of the game last week.
The Rustic bringing you our replays here in the fourth quarter. And again, a penalty against Highland Park. Did they? Never saw a flag on the field. Don't forget, coming up in post-game show tonight, we'll visit with a couple of the Highland Park players of the game. We'll hear from head coach Randy Allen, and we'll take a look at the final stats on this one. Again, Highland Park with pretty good numbers tonight offensively.
Official coming over to talk to Coach Allen and Coach Leidner.
Jay Ellis down along the sideline with a little to add to our conversation, Jay.
We may have the holding penalty finally.
But they just got an extra 2-minute rest there, and I think we'll see a battle in the trenches from those guys up front.
You don't see defensive holding call that much.
Here we go, play action. The throw comes to the near side. That's going to be caught by Hardy. He's tripped up immediately by Rourke. Pickup of close to 6 yards, down to the 19, second down in short yardage. It was holding on, holding on Highland Park. Our statistician Mike Maccabee with a little confusion on his penalty right there. Second down coming up now for the Lewisville Fighting Farmers. Play action again. They'll throw it, and Hardy, the intended receiver, but it's over his head.
Flag down. Looks like
we've got a flag down right around the 13-yard
illegal
line.
Receiver downfield again. Yep.
Scotty Parker, I think, was downfield. He's their big center, 6'2", 310 pounds, and he's not the biggest guy.
No.
Quay Davis out on left tackle, number 79, 6'8", 320 pounds.
I will say this, though. Scotty Parker, watching him on tape, is clearly the best blocker of the bunch. Good feet, wide feet, stays low, but why is he downfield? I don't know.
You just got to look at it on that replay. Second down and 9. Lewisville trailing the Scots by 2 touchdowns, and there's that screen pass. They'll get the first down using the screen pass as it was completed out on the far right side. Coming up was Kentrell Sorellis on the reception.
And Carl Williams making the hit, but it's run just like a quick jailbreak screen with the receiver coming from outside in, and it's very hard to defend when he's on the move laterally like that.
11 plays on that particular play. And here's Ellison. He goes over left tackle. He's going to get tripped up right there.
Williams.
By Carl Williams.
Again, 5:37 to go in the fourth quarter. Lewisville threatening.
Lewisville seems like they've been on this drive forever.
Both teams have kept the ball long.
It's the 11th play of the drive. It's gone 4 minutes so far. Quarterback around the left side is going to be drug out of bounds. That's Rourke, who ushered him beyond the white line.
Rourke did a heck of a job right there coming up from his cornerback position and forcing Ethan Terrell, the Lewisville quarterback, lateral.
Third down, clock's going to stop with 5:17 to go. Scott's trying to go to 2-0 on the season before they open district play next week. Third down 4. Ellison up the middle, and I'm not sure if he got it. I don't think he did. He's going to be about a yard short.
That's Henry Richter on the bottom of the pile making the play. Rossley coming in trying to rake the ball out. Scott's work on that drill once a week, raking the ball out.
Fourth down and 2.
Can the Scots make another stand?
They held on 4th and inches just a couple of minutes ago.
This is what you play for. Let's see, and at nose guard right now is Montgomery. He stuffed the center last time. Can he do it again?
Here we go. They'll go with the 2-back formation. Quarterback's going to keep it. Tries to go left side, and I believe he got the first down. Haven't gotten a call from the official as of yet.
I think he's short.
He may be short.
He may be short. Could the Highland Park defense make 2 fourth-down stands against an offensive line like this?
Down inside their 5-yard line? That would be quite the defensive plays. I believe they're going to measure this.
Let's look. I wonder if we have a replay.
Pat Sauer down there right along the line of scrimmage says he thinks it's clear that he did not get that first down. It's replay for the Rustic.
Highland Park offense coming out.
They're going to bring the chains out and
defense
measure
out
this.
still.
Let's see. Oh, it's going to be short.
He didn't get it.
That's going to be short.
He didn't get it. Yes, sir.
There it is.
2 defensive stops for the Scots.
Inches short, less than a yard. And the Scots defense done it again.
Yep, I believe Montgomery and Richter inside right there. No place to run. Well, you look at that offensive line and you think, how in the world could our guys, big though they are, they're not that big. How could they stop that offensive line? They've done it twice tonight.
Well, it wasn't a turnover, but it's a hold, and it means the Scots get the ball back, so we'll call it a turnover. Thanks to John Heinrich, Dr. John Heinrich, that is. He's of Hilltop Orthopedics in sports medicine, and Dr. Heinrich and his crew, proud supporters of Highland Park football. A 13-play drive, 72 yards.
Scott's got to hold the ball.
4 inches short.
Hold the ball down. Solid plays.
Here we go. Scots had their running backs lined up in the end zone. They're going to get maybe a couple of yards. Gibbs and Cooper defend on the play, make the tackle. Second down for Highland Park after a 1-yard pickup.
Would you go deep right here? Would you just drop back and say, here we go?
Yes, and I would throw it to Schrank, as successful as he's been tonight.
Well, you see,
I'll tell you the guy we've not seen a whole lot from tonight that I kind of expected more plays to go his way was Bo Lilly.
Bo Lilly, exactly. But Schrank's speed is going to serve the Scots well this year.
Storr is going to throw it out of his own end zone. Comes to the near side. Caught. That's Heiss who will bring it up out of the 15, maybe the 16, 17-yard line before he's going to be shoved out of bounds.
And that accomplishes just what the Scots want to just get a first down, one at a time, keep the ball, and run out the clock.
Sorellis on the tackle that time. And beautiful play right there by Highland Park's offense to get that first down and, more importantly, give them a little bit of breathing room. First and 10 for Highland Park. 2 backs in the backfield. Storr calls for the ball, hands it off. Wilson Axley. Axley will pick up just a couple as Highland Park's going to probably keep it pretty conservative right here, trying to keep that clock running. Hitting the 3-minute mark and a 14-point lead for Highland Park.
Well, Scots have. This is the type of game you want, though, as a non-district game. You don't want to blow people out. You want to have to earn your stripes, and the Scots have had to earn this one tonight, and they're going to come away with a great victory.
Here we go for Highland Park on second down at about 8. Again, they'll keep 2 running backs in the backfield. Storr is going to go long, looks left side. He's got Luke Herring down there and incomplete. This time, no flag thrown, and this time Cam Jenkins says, yeah, I made the defensive play and didn't interfere this time.
Well, Luke Herring is so adept at getting the separation he needs right as the ball arrives, and he almost pulled it off again right there.
Third down for Highland Park.
2:30 left in the game.
Bo Lilly out. Grayson Schrank comes back into the game. He'll be the slot to the lower side of your screen. Straight drop back. Storr rolls, throws. Incomplete, but there is a flag down. Came in the backfield. This may be against Highland Park.
Looks like a hold.
Yep, that's what it's going to be. Holding against Highland Park.
It's going to be declined, and it's going to bring up 4th down. Scots have to punt.
Tell you what, it's provided we have 2:25, and I shouldn't even say this. I won't say it just yet. I'll hold it.
All I'll say is kick away from number 1.
There you go.
Jaden Hardy does not need to touch the ball.
Jaden Hardy, who's got offers coming in from Alabama and a number of schools. Looks like we've got a timeout being called right now.
Yep, they're going to bring the punt team on, make sure they got plenty of time to get set. Lewisville obviously going to come with the block.
Let's throw it to a quick commercial. We'll keep the game on so you can see what's happening during the break.
In the end, it's not the politician that builds this country. It's the entrepreneur, carrying the world's largest economy on their shoulders, putting Americans back to work. Really, they're the only ones who ever could. We've always been the entrepreneur's bank for the century behind and the century ahead. Vista Bank. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912.
Okay, obvious punting situation for Highland Park. 2:25 to play. They've got a 14-point lead, and they're facing 4th and 8 inside their own 20-yard line. As coach is over there talking to the Scots, what is he telling them right now?
He's telling them probably, I would say, block an extra long time. You know, don't be so intent on getting out and making the play, because if we don't block them up front, it doesn't matter. So sit in there, do your assignment, block, and I would anticipate, with a little luck, that Tansey will kick this to the right and hopefully to the boundary.
Here's Tansey. He's averaging 43 yards on 2 punts tonight. Gets a foot into it right here. It's going to be a wobbler. It won't be caught, and Highland Park's going to get down there and be able to cover it very quickly. It's not bad field position for Lewisville, because they'll have it in Highland Park territory at the 46-yard line.
Preston Bond getting down there to cover the ball. That's definitely a situation where you don't want to outkick your coverage, because that puts the ball in Hardy's hands in the open field. And the Scots coaches, I imagine, are very happy with that relatively short punt.
Well, remember last time Lewisville had the ball, they went 13 plays and 72 yards and came up with squat.
Yep.
Highland Park's defense held them inside the 5-yard line.
And twice that's happened.
Now they've only got 2:17 to work with, make up 14 points.
Defense has to go back to work again.
Here we go. Let's see what Terrell's going to do. Straight drop back. Here comes the rush. They set up the screen pass to Ellison. Ellison brings it out, and he's going to get decked. Knocked down right at the 43-yard line. Brady Dotrieve welcomes him to 2nd down.
And Scots have got some backups in there now. Daniel Turner, the sophomore defensive lineman, is in at defensive end. Saw some playing time last week, along with number 93. That's Blake Andrews at nose. And number 67 is that Noonan at defensive end.
Terrell's got lots of time. Now
Turner
he's feeling the pressure from behind, and he's going to run with it. He'll pick up the 1st down at the 34-yard line. That'll stop the clock momentarily while they move the chains.
Blake Andrews, a nose guard, chasing him down. Highland Park has had a history of nose guards. You can run sideline to sideline. Cormac Carroll in the game.
Here we go, 4 wide receivers. Terrell wants to throw, rears back, and heaves this one into the end zone over the head of his intended receiver. Trying to get it down there to Cam Jenkins.
And once again, it's Adam Rourke going to prove that you're not getting anything easy over here.
Highland Park has not recorded a sack tonight. They've had pressure, but they have not been able to get to Ethan Terrell tonight for a sack. Let's see what they can do. Maybe a good time to bring one up right here. Here comes the rush. Terrell's going to run with it. He'll keep it himself. Now he wants to throw it. Now he's going to get slammed to the turf. He lost the ball. I think they're going to call him down. They are, but he's still down back at the 40-yard line, and this will go as a 5-yard loss.
Oh, William White, though, just closed like a rocket, and I think he's shocked with Ethan Terrell about how quickly he got there.
So we'll get a good look at it right here. Did he come across the line of scrimmage and then go back?
Yeah, it was very close.
Because it looked like he was going to run, and then all of a sudden he went, uh-oh, I can't run.
Well, I think he may have realized that running doesn't get you anywhere. You're down by 2 touchdowns.
Only 45 seconds to go. Timeout on the field. That's going to be the final timeout for Lewisville.
Carter Noonan in at defensive end, along with Daniel Turner.
With almost 100 offices across the state of Texas, and 50 of them in the DFW area alone, Capital Title is here to serve you. Made by Texans, for Texans. Capital Title is the largest independent title company in the United States. We are Dallas-born, Dallas-based, and family-owned. We support the Highland Park Scots.
Well, 3rd down and 15. Highland Park trying to hold Lewisville right here.
And let's see here. We got Thornton in the game. White on the other side. Let's see if one of the young defensive linemen can put pressure.
Straight drop back for Terrell. He's going to lob this one over the oncoming defensive line. Ellison's got it on the screen pass. He'll get the first down. He'll get tattooed by William White down around the 18-yard line. First down. Stop the clock while the chains are moved.
36 seconds to go. Now 31. Clock moving.
21 yards on the screen pass. Start the clock now. Terrell wants to throw this one into the end zone. He's got a receiver down there, and he dropped it. Couldn't hold on to it. The intended receiver right there was
Philip Patterson.
Philip Patterson.
It looks, maybe that's 18. I may be Ty
I believe
Miller.
it is. Yeah, it's Ty Miller.
And I was going to say, Patterson, from what I've seen tonight, he comes down with that ball. But Miller could not.
Clock's going to stop with 17 seconds. You were wondering what I was going to say a while ago. There's the replay. Boy, he had it momentarily.
He had
just
it.
Could not complete the
could
catch.
Not finish the catch. And I look at it. It's looking like Rourke raking it out of his hands as he's going down.
Yeah, big win for Highland Park head coach Randy Allen tonight. With tonight's victory, Coach Allen will move into a tie for number 2 on the all-time wins list for Texas football coaches.
That's an incredible record.
This will be his 426th victory tonight. There was a penalty on the play. We never saw what they called.
Holding, I think, is what it was.
So it's first down and 25. This time Terrell running for his life, trying to keep things alive. He'll get out. He'll stop the clock with 10 seconds to go.
That's number 90 in Chase, Alex Prowse, the outside linebacker, along with 2 or 3 of his teammates. But Ethan Terrell's looking for an escape on the sidelines as fast as he could get there.
Coach Allen will be tied with G.A. Moore with 427 victories.
Puts him in a position to get sole possession next week against Lake Highlands.
10 seconds to go. Final plays of this football game. Allen dances around, gets out of trouble, and will take it down to about the 17-yard line. 2 seconds to go, so likely one play left on the clock. Highland Park will go to 2-0 all time against Lewisville. They play once every 99 years.
99 years. We'll see you here in 21, 22. It's good to see these young guys get a chance to play at the end of the game.
4th down and 10 now for Lewisville. This will be the likely last play of the football game. Terrell pumps, looks right, comes back left, goes across the middle.
Too high.
Had a receiver, but it's incomplete. And they have held him 3 times in a row on 4th down. And Highland Park wins this football game 31-17.
And the stick in the end zone came from backup safety Barrett Denton, number 26. Really put the hit on the Lewisville receiver in the end zone. He said, "You're going to go up for it. You're going to pay the price." And Scots come out with a huge win against another team.
There you see one of the great traditions in Texas high school football when they line up, shake hands, attaboys going around. Congratulations. And again, these two teams played in 1923. Highland Park won that game 34-0. And now in 2022, Scots with a 31-17 victory over the Fighting Farmers.
And just as we said last week, Russell, because they're in 6A, this could be potential playoff opponent at some point down the road. So Marcus and Lewisville High fall into that category. You might run into them again.
And Highland Park beat both of them. And these two teams, Marcus and Lewisville, expected to be 1 and 2 in district this year.
Exactly. So 2 quality wins. First 2 times out for Scots in 6A in 7 years.
We'll hear from head coach Randy Allen coming up in just a moment. We'll take our first time out of the postgame show. Our postgame show is brought to you tonight by Burger House, the official burger of Highland Park football. We'll hear from head coach Randy Allen next. Stay with us. The official burger of Highland Park football.
Burger House keeps my O-line fueled for the big games.
I got your back.
Mouth-watering burgers, famous fries, handmade shakes and malts made the old-fashioned way, like they were back in 1951, when we first opened our doors. Next time you have the urge for a double-double and Jack's Famous Fries, stop in and step back in time to our neighborhood restaurant. We would love to see you. Go Scots! Back at Max Goldsmith Stadium and Highland Park turning in another win, 31-17. They beat the Fighting Farmers of Lewisville, and there you get a good look at the bells and the band and the fans who showed up to cheer on the Scots tonight. We'll hear from head coach Randy Allen coming up momentarily as the team right now over in front of the band. School song being played for them. We'll hear from some of the players of the game as well. And we'll take a look at some of the highlights, including our play of the game. Most impressive part of tonight's game for you?
I think just the way the defense performed. I mean, the offense did what they had to do to put points on the board, which they always do, and I don't mean to take that for granted because that's important. But the two defensive stops inside the 10-yard line, inside the 5, if they allowed Lewisville to score right there, and it's now a tie game at 31, anything can happen at the end. I think the defense has to be given credit for leading the way on this victory.
Well, and I tell you, when you look at Lewisville players, they have a lot of athletic talent on this field.
They may impress me more than Marcus, and I thought a lot of Marcus, but
they've got that big, heavy offensive line. Ellison goes over 100 yards rushing tonight. And then you look at the defense, Jaden Hardy back there. And I believe we've got Coach Allen ready to go, so let's send it down to Jay Ellis.
Coach Allen, congratulations on a great win. I wish we had gotten you 15 seconds earlier. You were singing the fight song. What's your favorite line of that celebration song?
Hail to the fighting Scotties, to the warriors of old. They are brave and bold.
You got it, Coach. Hey,
Warriors, yeah.
Warriors, we were brave and bold. Hey, Coach Allen, 2 goal line stands by the Highland Park defense against a huge offensive line. Tell us a little bit about that, what that meant to this victory.
Well, it saved the game for us. That defense, 2 defensive stands down there on the goal line, and then we came back with a touchdown to put us 14 points ahead. But if they knock those 2 scores in, it's a different ball game. So our defense gave up some yards, but when it really counted, they came up with a huge stop down there on the goal line.
And last week, your defense maybe kind of wore down a little bit in the fourth quarter. It didn't look like that happened this week. Obviously, like he said, the 2 big stops. I mean, it looked like your defense was really getting stronger there later in the game today.
We play a lot of players, and we worked hard this week on hydration and, doing the right things to be ready in the fourth quarter, and I think it paid off tonight.
Coach Allen, the Highland Park offense has shown that they can score a lot of ways. Last week, there was a whole lot of Jaycocks in a lot of different ways. Today, 4 touchdown passes. If I can remember right, I think it was Heiss, Schrank, Herring, Schrank. Tell us a little bit about those options that Brennan has and what a good job he's doing finding them.
Yeah, well, we're making some big plays in the passing game, and we got receivers that can get deep and make great plays, and so he's finding those guys deep and has a lot of confidence. They have a good chemistry together, and when he's got time, he can find them.
Coach Allen,
Coach, it looked like you really came out and threw the ball a lot today, didn't rely much on the running game. Was that just a matter of what they were giving you, or was that the game plan coming in to really throw the ball a lot tonight?
Well, I tried to run it, but we were just tearing our equipment up there, so we were moving the ball, throwing it, and I think they're a pretty good football team, number one. Number two, I think they're probably loading the box on us some, and those guys get off of blocks well, and we were hard. It was hard for us to make a big play running the football, and our guys seemed to get behind them. So I thought throwing the ball was a better option.
Coach Allen, you told us about how great the defense was and the offense. Of course, that third component is the kicking game, and one thing you don't get to see really live action until the first game is how you can score from the kicking game. But by my tally, Jake Tansey is 2 for 2 on field goals on the season and 8 for 8 on extra points. Tell us about the success of that extra point team as well.
Well, the snap is great, the hold is good, and Jake has been just perfect on his extra points and field goals. And Adam Rourke blocked another punt tonight and set up another touchdown for us. So I tell you, Adam he's a valuable player for us, and all our kicking game is really important. But as you mentioned, we've been perfect on our extra points and field goals, and that means a lot going down the road. But our snapper, our holder, our kicker, our protection's been excellent. And really, you play your first 2 pre-district games for next week. You know, it wouldn't matter if we were 0-2 or 2-0 right now. What matters is what we do next week. We got 8 district ball games with one of the preseason favorites, Lake Highlands, coming to Highlander Stadium, and you know, we got to get ready for them.
But you've got to be pretty happy with where you're at going into district, though, right now, because 2 hard-fought wins the last couple of weeks. You guys look like you're really prepared.
Well, I'm happy that we're 2-0, and I'm happy that we're healthy, and I'm happy that, you know, we're playing with confidence. And we're getting a little bit better each week and getting more confidence in what we're doing. And we won't play a bigger offensive line than what we played tonight. So our guys they're getting some good work against some big people.
Hey, Coach Allen, your team's excited. I know they want to celebrate with you. Since we've got him right here, would you introduce Jake Tansey? He's one of our players of the game.
Yeah, this is Jake Tansey, perfect extra points, perfect field goal kicker, and an excellent punter.
Thank you, Coach Allen. Jake Tansey, congratulations. Your name comes up over and over and over these first 2 games. Perfect, as Coach Allen said, perfect on field goals and extra points, and also critical punts. Not only getting the ball down the field far and high and with time, but also getting it off under pressure. Tell us what it's like getting to do that under the lights, because this is the one phase of the game you don't really get to try live until the first game. So how's it been?
It's great. I mean, it's my first time out here, you know. It's completely different. The fans are great, and the band, it's way better when you're out here instead of JV. And it gets you pumped up, and it's a way better feeling.
Hey, Jake, tell us about the camaraderie among those guys on the field goal team and the punt team. You know, how much do you all take pride in being a part of that unit?
It's a great thing. I mean, we're all connected. It's one family, and we all just work together out there, and we just have fun together.
Hey, Jake, getting ready for next week, Lake Highlands, first district game. What will you all do? Anything different getting ready for the week? Or if not, tell us what your week looks like, because we hear from these guys in the trenches all the time. We don't hear from the kickers very often.
That's true. It's probably going to be the same thing. You know, just keep practicing, just keep working on being consistent, and just being a better kicker.
Hey, and the last thing, we've got some depth as well. I know Joshua Baines handles kickoffs. Tell us about how the 2 of you work together and encourage each other and make each other better.
I mean, me and Josh, we're great friends. We work together all the time when we're at practice. You know, we spend pretty much all of our time together when we're working together. And so it's a friendship and it's a bond.
Hey, Jake Tansey, that's I think the secret to Highland Park football. You obviously know it. Congratulations. You're our special teams player of the game. Thank you. Howdy. I got Herring. Luke Herring. Congratulations, Luke Herring. You're obviously one of our offensive players of the game. The one I want to talk about is the touchdown on the post from the backside going away from the scoreboard. Tell us how that one developed.
It was a much-needed play. It was 3rd and 25, and we had this play waiting. The big post was waiting all game, and Coach Allen finally called it, and he trusted in us, and it was wide open, so we put it in for 6. It was a big play.
So you see the middle of the field opening up. Describe to us the technique, they're going to show it on, I think, as we're talking about it, but tell me about how you stem that corner to make sure you're able to beat him to the inside and have leverage.
That corner was already playing outside leverage, and it all depended on that safety, and Grayson Schrank was able to bring the safety down, and once that happens, I'm faster than the guy, and I'm just going to outrun him and bring him through a great ball.
Hey, Luke, I'm hearing from upstairs that is our play of the game. I want to ask you one more question about it. So you catch the ball at about the 6-yard line, and before you get to the 3, you've got 2 guys wrapped around your waist. What are you thinking, and how do you get that ball to the end zone?
I could have ended there. I had to go for the touchdown. Just dove in.
Hey, that's awesome, Luke. Congratulations. You're one of our wide receivers of the game. I hope to be talking to another soon. If you see Grayson Schrank, send him my way.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Congratulations, Luke.
Hey, Jay, by the way, our play of the game right there, you just talked about it. It's brought to you by Riddell Plumbing, home of the honest, quality, great customer service, and proud supporters of the Highland Park Scots.
All right, I've got our defensive lineman of the game. Welcome to Lewisville. We got Lewis Montgomery in the middle. I want to hear about the first 4th down, and then I'm going to ask you about the second 4th down.
All right. First 4th down in the huddle right before Coach Burt gave us the chop call. So I knew in my head, I was like, all right, it's me in the center. Who's going to win this battle? I guess it just turned out in our favor. It got the crowd hype. It got the stands hype. It was pretty awesome. I loved it.
Hey, Lewis, before I ask you about the second 4th down, I got an interim question here. You know, you were playing offensive line until this year. You got to make 2 stops on 4th down. Which one's more fun?
No hate to the offense, but the defense, the dark side. The dark side's where you want to be. It's dark. You make tackles. It's so much fun. I love it so much.
Hey, Lewis, like so many of these Scots, you got your start being a nasty football player in 6-man football at the Y. Yours was with the Saints, if I remember correctly.
Yes, sir.
And there were 2 coaches on that team that taught you to fight in the trenches. Tell us about who they are and what that means to you looking back.
So our coach, I got my dad and my uncle, and they're both big role models, especially my dad. He tells me every day before I leave, before I go to school, he just tells me, like, be tough, be strong in everything you do. And I just use that in my life. And so, like, it was great having them as coaches growing up. And I just look back on all the fun memories we had with my dad and my uncle. And it was awesome. It was awesome.
Man, Lewis, you make it hard to ask a question, but here's the last one. Let's talk about that second 4th down, because it wasn't enough to stop Lewisville once. Late in the game, they've got a chance to score and keep the game close, and you get a second chance, and you're playing nose guard again. Tell us about that one.
It's a little bit different than the first one. We had a different first call, and then luckily Spencer Brown was paying attention at the time. He got us shifted to the right place, and then like the first one, it was just head-on football. Like, who's going to win, me or the center? And I got all the guys behind me doing the same thing. And everyone just toughened up and stuck it right to the running back.
Hey, you're our defensive lineman of the game because you welcomed the Farmers to Lewisville. Congratulations, Lewis Montgomery. Great game.
By the way, our defensive player of the game tonight brought to you by HP Youth Football, preparing tomorrow's Scots today. We also heard from Tansy just a couple of minutes ago. He was our special teams player of the game, and that's brought to you by Mark Clifton Homes, trusted builder of exceptional houses. So thanks to Mark Clifton Homes and thanks to HP Youth Football for those 2 sponsorships. And our offensive player of the game, of course, was Luke Herring, who we heard from just a couple of minutes ago. He's brought to you by Tolson Wealth Management. Tolson Wealth Management, proud supporter of the Highland Park Scots.
I've got our secondary player of the game, Carl Williams, with me. Carl, we have so many great companies that want to sponsor us. It takes a while in between interviews sometimes to recognize them all. But we're excited to see you 2 weeks in a row. My guess is if we were to look at the stat sheet, we'd see you racking up more tackles than anybody. People don't always think about safeties as, you know, your first thought is they're a pass defender. But tell us about how you're supporting the run so well for the Scots these first 2 weeks.
Well, it's really just our teammates. We have our OBs and our middle linebackers. They really do a great job of funneling the ball to me, and it makes it easy for me because they can't really get side to side or they're going to get them. So I just get to run right through and shoot my shot.
So you and Brady Dotrieve and Barrett Denton have been playing those 2 spots back there mostly at safety. Tell us about how much communication there is between the 2 safeties and, of course, with the corners pre-snap and in between plays.
Yeah, we work on it a lot in practice, try to do it every play. We really think it's the most important part because we just have to stay on the same page. When bus happens, when we are on different page, running different coverages, so we always make sure to talk.
Hey, Carl, I know you've got a coach for the safeties and a coach for the corners. Tell us who they are and how important they are to the success of that defensive secondary.
I think I have the best defensive back coaches in the state. They do a great job of game planning. They put us in great position to succeed. We would not have the success we've had without them. Both Coach Easton and Coach Smith do an incredible job, and we wouldn't be where we are without them.
Hey, Carl, you all have done what you needed to do in the preseason. You're 2-0. How exciting is it going to be to have a full house at Highlander next week? You probably know there's a special occasion. Matthew Stafford's going to be there. There's going to be a ceremony. But you all are more concerned about Lake Highlands. How exciting is it going to be in that full house on Friday?
Well, it's awesome. Anytime there's a big game at Highlander, the fans come out. The atmosphere is just incredible. So I'm really excited for that, and I think we all are. And I think as a defense, we just do our job, fly around 100%. We can do a great job and be really special.
Hey, Carl, congratulations. You're our defensive back of the game. Congratulations.
Have a good one.
Thank you very much, Jay. Another tremendous job with our interviews down there. Tell you what, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Mike Maccabee, our statistician. Oh, we're not going to go to a break. We're going to go straight to stats right now, and Mike Maccabee is going to join us. And
we got one more interview?
We got one more interview down there?
Yeah, one more interview, and this is the big guy. I've got Lawson Petty. Lawson plays left tackle for the Scots. Lawson, first of all, tell us how physical it was tonight in the trenches.
I would say from last game, that D-line was a lot more big and physical. This D-line was a lot more technical. Harder to get blocks. They were real good.
Hey, Lawson, tell me about the great job that those offensive guards are doing for Highland Park.
All of us were real slow at the beginning, and then we all had a talk with Coach Farnsley and Jack Sides that were up in the box, telling us what we did wrong, and we all stepped it up in the second half.
Hey, Lawson, we talked about it during the game, but I know that the team has done something really special to honor you and your family with the stickers on the back of the helmets. Would you tell us sort of what that means to you, the tribute to Joe Warren, who, of course, is your dad's stepfather, who passed away a couple weeks back?
Yes, sir. It means a lot to have a brotherhood that'll have your back whenever. I texted the guys and talked to Coach Allen, and he said we can make a tribute to him and have a sticker for him, and I texted the group chat, and all guys were in on it to support me and my family, so I appreciate all of them.
Hey, Lawson, go be with your football family and celebrate a great win. Oh, wait, hold on. There's one more question coming from the box.
I've got to ask him about
hold on.
16 knockdowns last week. 16. Has anybody gotten even close to that in your years at Highland Park?
Hey, Lawson, so Coach Castelaw wanted me to let you know we're all aware that you had 16 knockdowns or pancakes last week, and how does that compare to what you've watched through the years at Highland Park? Do you know of anyone else getting 16?
No, I don't. I remember Jack Lair had a bunch. I think he had 21 game, which was real impressive. But Coach Wells told me the record's 25. I thought it was 20, so that's what I'm shooting for.
Hey, we just need to keep the offense on the field a little bit more for you to get that chance. But if anyone's going to do it, I'll bet it's you. Congratulations, you're offensive lineman of the game.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lawson Petty. And now we'll go back upstairs.
All right. Thank you very much, Jay. Our post-game show is brought to you tonight by Burger House. Burger House is the official burger of Highland Park football. They see those guys coming, they're going to have some burger. Oh, you got Grayson Schrank down there too? We're still.
We better be.
The
the stadium isn't. It's dead. The lights are off. But I got Grayson Schrank here. Hey, Grayson, we love seeing you run the wheel. You start on the inside. There's no way they're going to catch you. Tell us about the wheel down the left sideline in the first half for the long touchdown.
Me and Brenna have been running that wheel route since third grade. So, he knows where I'm going to be and when I'm going to be there. So, right as I turned around, that ball was coming in, and I was able to outrun the really fast corner, and Herring baited him in, so I was able to get by him, and Brenna made a great pass, and I was able to run up the sideline and score. So,
hey, Grayson, I love to hear you give Herring some credit for getting you open on that, because you know what he told us about his touchdown? He told us you took the safety out of the play so he could get one. Do they coach you about that specifically? Hey, sometimes your job is to run someone else out to get your teammate open?
Oh, for sure. We have a ton of plays where I draw the safety out, and so Herring gets a one-on-one matchup, or vice versa. Our receiving core is crazy good. You could throw it up to any one of us, me, Herring, Bo, or Heiss, and Jay, and Ashley. So it's like we all complement each other and all have different strengths, and it works out really well.
Hey, so Grayson, I know you've had some injury issues the last couple of years. We saw a good amount of you your sophomore year. You didn't get to play last year. How special is it to get to be under the lights on Friday nights now this year that you've been dreaming of?
Oh, it feels great. I mean, that last year when I wasn't able to play with my ACL, it was tough to be on the sideline. But, I mean, I was rooting on everybody, and now that I'm out there and they're rooting me on, it feels amazing. It's crazy.
Hey, so the last question, middle of the game, just any old game, 2nd down and 5. What do you prefer? Do you like running across the middle so you get the ball in space and get to make moves, or do you like beating somebody down the sideline with pure speed?
I mean, it depends on what the defense is running. I mean, tonight they're in a cover 3, so it's easier to go up the hash. But, I mean, it really just depends. I like getting the ball in space and being able to run past guys and stuff. But I would probably say sideline.
Hey, Grayson, I know you all only have 24 hours to celebrate. For you, it's only about 23 and 30 because I've cut into it, so I'm going to cut out. But congratulations on being one of our wide receivers of the game, and best of luck as you start district play next week. Grayson Schrank, wide receiver of the game.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now we'll go back upstairs.
All right. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it. Let's bring Mike McAbee into our post-game show brought to you by Burger House.
How about Grayson setting us up with a great transition, talking about the fact that he and Storr have been running that place since they were in the 3rd grade.
Mm-hmm.
That had to have been the Park City's YMCA program.
It did.
And that happens to be the sponsor of our statistics summary. How about that?
There you go.
Yep. All right.
Thank you, Grayson Schrank.
Absolutely. Let's start off with the individual receiving numbers. Grayson finished up with 93 yards, 4 catches, 2 touchdowns, including a long catch of 69 yards. Jackson Heiss had 4 catches also, 85 yards and a touchdown. Luke Herring had 3 catches for 93 yards and 1 touchdown. We can guess that Brendan Storr's got some pretty nice passing numbers tonight, can't you? And then also Bo Lilly, 1 catch for 4 yards. Jay Cox, 4 catches for 27 yards. And Wilson actually had 1 catch that was stopped at the line of scrimmage. So looking at Brendan Storr's total numbers tonight, in the air, 17 completions on 28 attempts, total of 302 yards, his first of what will probably be many 300-yard nights, 4 touchdowns. He was not sacked. He has not thrown an interception yet this year. And then on the ground...
how many yards did you say?
302.
That's his first 300-yard game of his varsity career.
I would guess that that's not the last one.
I believe you're right.
Yeah. Jay Cox was the leading rusher. Limited yards on the ground for the Scots tonight. Jay Cox had 11 carries for 51 yards. And then Wilson actually had 2 carries for 4 yards. Brendan Storr was credited for 4 carries for negative 11 yards because of sacks, of course. So looking at the Scots' total offense or total numbers, 346 total offensive yards on 45 plays. 17 out of 28 for 302 in the air, and 17 rushing plays for 44 yards with 16 first downs. And third down conversions, 5 out of 10. Possession time, 18 minutes and 17 seconds. Looking at numbers, Farmers finished up with 29 minutes and 43 seconds of possession time. So, they did exactly what we thought they would try to do. They passed a little bit more, but they still kept the ball for a long period of time in there. Third downs, the Farmers were 5 out of 13, had 20 first downs, rushed the ball 33 times for 187 yards, and then added 175 yards in the air. Passing was 21 out of 35, and no interceptions. Neither team fumbled, so we have now gone 2 full games for the Scots this year that neither team has turned the ball over.
Which is incredible. First 2 games of the season.
Exactly. I mean, that's mid-season form, as they say. And then also looking at the individual leaders for the Farmers, the leading rusher, Byron Ellison, was 17 carries for 123 yards. 17 catches for 123 yards, and that was rushing. And that will be your stat summary. Brought to you by Park Cities YMCA. Russell.
Thank you very much, Mike Maccabee. And that is going to wrap things up. It was a great game tonight. And district play opens next week.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. But this is, this is exactly what Coach Allen wanted. I mean, if you're a coach and you think you've got a good team, you want to know early how you stack up. And the Scots have proven in the last 2 weeks against two quality teams that they can stand toe-to-toe with 6A powerhouses and hold their own. Come away with 2 wins. And now what really counts is district with Lake Highlands coming in next week.
Head coach Randy Allen moves into a tie for number 2 all-time winningest coach in Texas high school football and has a chance to move into sole possession next week. Also next week, very special occasion, the Highland Park Scots Hall of Fame will add, Ring of Honor will add one more name. Matthew Stafford will be at the game next week.
With his
so
family.
That'll be a very special night, and you better get your tickets early.
I think it's a sellout already, if I'm not mistaken, but Stafford's playing Thursday night, flying in Friday morning. It ought to be a great occasion because there are 3 members of the Ring of Honor so far, and they are players who played back in the 40s and 50s, and Stafford's going to bring it current with the 4th member, very deservedly so, of the Ring of Honor.
Well, for all of our broadcast crew and my partner, Jim Castellaw, I'm Russell Scott, reminding you our final score tonight, 31-17. Highland Park knocks off Lewisville. We get district play opening a week from tonight. We will see you then. We're going to close our broadcast tonight with a look at some of the highlights from tonight's game. Have a great weekend, everybody, and a safe Labor Day, and we'll talk to you next Friday night. Good night, and God bless.